What's up?
Hey, good morning. Are we alive?
Barely.
Barely? Next two of us.
Let's go to that because I hate the other view. And get rid of that. And then we're all set.
I can't
go over to
stay too long.
YouTube. View on YouTube.
I can't stay too long today. I got a doctor's appointment.
Hang on. I got my. There we go. I had to YouTube because I want to pop out the chat, and then I had to turn the audio off, and now the chat's popped out, and I can get rid of that window, and then I can get rid of the Discord. All that crap. Who's in for a twiddle battle today? No. All right. I was up early, believe it or not. Been running around like a madman all morning.
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night again.
I stayed up too late. That was my other problem. I'm a little exhausted. I'll be taking a nap this afternoon. Right at midnight, I'm laying down and I'm kind of tossing and turning, and I'm kind of doing the TV click going, I'll find something for half an hour. There's just nothing on. This is the dead time normally anyways, because normally summer starts and television just starts throwing repeats of everything up. And with the whole pandemic BS, I'd freaking watched just about everything at least twice already. So I went over to Netflix, and I guess Rocket Man released this week. The whole Elton John story. Just like, whatever, I like Elton John's music. Everybody knows he's gay, blah, blah, blah. Had drug problems. It's like, all right, I'll watch it. Figuring it's going to be like borderline documentary movie, what to do. It's more musical, which is fine. I just wasn't ready for that. And it was actually pretty good.
Well, good morning, Ann and Lester and Michael.
There was a little too much. Actually, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. It's worth watching. If you like Elton John's music and stuff, it's worth a watch just for because 80% of it is singing and music. And the dude who did it is actually pretty good. I didn't even realize. It took me halfway through the movie to realize who the hell it was. It's the kid that did the Kingsman movies.
Don't know those.
You don't know the Kingsman movies where the freaking kid's a punk and the guy comes and he teaches them how to fight, and you had to have seen those. They're fairly new. Well, the original one was. And then the second one, he comes over to America and, they're all like Lancelot and, everybody in the little secret society. You've never seen the Kingsman movies?
I don't think so.
Oh, you got to watch those. They're actually pretty good. I mean, they're entertaining. They're not a good movie. They're an entertaining movie.
Morning.
Yeah. I finally this is my first cup of coffee, and it's still full. I've had one sip off of it. I had to go shopping. So I was planning on cleaning out the refrigerator yesterday anyways, but because it was, it's getting kind of yucky. But I go down yesterday afternoon to make lunch, and Mom had bought some sour cream back in November, and never used it. Big quart, and it freaking blew up in the refrigerator.
Oh,
it was on the top shelf.
So it made a mess all the way to the bottom.
I mean, literally, it couldn't have been any more perfect of a timing because I was literally planning on cleaning the refrigerator yesterday afternoon. I deliberately not bought groceries this past week and, kind of thinned it out so it was easier. But I literally was planning on it already. But, oh, my God, I threw out just everything. So I just spent almost $200 in groceries
Woof.
because I just did not want to clean shit. I
Good
cleaned the
morning.
inside of the refrigerator, and pretty much anything that was on the shelves got tossed.
Good
Which,
morning, John Mack. How you doing today?
it's funny, I was looking at some of the stuff. My mother had a brick of cheese from 2014. Ooh.
We occasionally find something that's got some age on it.
Oh, it's not occasional here. My mother is like the worst hoarder ever. I'm finding like boxes of hamburger helper in the pantry. Like she won't go buy a box. She goes buy 10 and then uses 2 and then goes buy 10 more. There's literally there was like 15 boxes of hamburger helper and I mean we eat it, but not that often. I don't hate hamburger helper, but it's not something I want to eat every day.
It's okay if you jazz it up a little.
Yeah, I usually add like onions and peppers and crap to it. But anyway, there's a couple boxes still and everything. I'm finding them like 1999 dated when I'm cleaning out the cabinet the other day.
Oh, good Lord.
Are you freaking kidding me? This stuff is 20 years old.
Maybe the Smithsonian would be interested in some of those.
And it's funny because they changed the box style. You can tell which ones are the old ones because they had the old, like, more cartoony box style.
Wow.
Oh, there's just so much food in that. I mean, I've gotten rid of most of it in the last 6 months, but oh my God, there was just so much food in this house that is just so old. She's got cans that are, and what I can't get into her head is like canned food, baked beans. I found some baked beans with a date on them of like 2013. So they're 7 years old after date. Now, if you know baked beans, you can buy them, and the date is like 3 or 4 years before they go bad.
Yeah.
So a 7-year-old dated can is actually like 10 years old. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not even going to open those. Oh, those will be all right. No, they're not. I'm not going to poison you, mother. You're not eating those freaking beans. That's how you get food poisoning.
A lot of the cans will last longer than the date says.
Oh, I'm sure they are. And if it's something 6 months or even a year sometimes, especially canned food, like Jell-O. If Jell-O's past date, you squeeze the box. If it's still powder in there, you can tell. If it's a hard chunk, you throw it out. Canned food, Chef Boyardee, I'll go 6 months past date, no problem. Even though again, that stuff goes a couple, 3 years. You buy it a couple, 3 years before the date runs out. But yeah, there's that anything much over a year. For one, if you're not eating in a year, you're not going to eat it.
Oh, John Mack, the store opening today? You got good weather? You going to sell something today?
Yeah, talking to that, you see the spam post that's flying around again? It was actually out about a month ago. It seems to be coming around again. It says I think it was 1945 or 55 or whatever year it was that spam came out. It says spam in 1955 or whatever year it is. Spam made their first batch of spam. During this pandemic, we're thinking about making our second.
Yeah, okay, I heard that.
It's like, ew, yum. Oh, and the cans of chipped beef and cream she's got. All that stuff is so nasty in the first place. Can you imagine that being 10, 15, 20 years old in the jar? Nothing. You probably eat that crap, don't you?
No, I don't eat chipped beef.
Oh, my mother buys it in those little glass. It almost looks like a rocks glass, but taller. Like a big shot glass, whatever. It's a glass with a little metal seal top. I think it's Hormel. But it's chipped beef and cream all mixed together, and you just throw it in a pan and heat it up, throw it on top of toast. Man, I can't even. Oh, that's nasty. And there's jars of that crap from like at least 10 years old down there. I'm gonna start going through that next. She's got one of those rotary things in the corner cabinets. There's got to be a dozen cans stuck behind that rotary. It turns and it falls off in the back corner. I'm gonna gut that next. I think that'll be next week's nastiness.
After 25 years, you can sell it as an antique, though, right?
Sure. Oh,
I wouldn't doubt that, Michael.
coffee tastes better when you really, really want it and you didn't get it, and then you get it later. It tastes so much better when you really want it.
Now, we didn't get coffee at Wawa this morning, our local Wawa. I don't know what it was, a robbery attempt or whatever, but they had a window shot out and the place was all taped off, cops everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
only
like
it's less than a mile from the house.
whatever. I don't want to hear about the fucking stupidity in the world. Tired of it.
I think these were just regular idiots instead of super idiots.
Yep.
Oh, not printing anything today?
I literally came in from shopping and made
Wow.
coffee and came up here and started the stream. I'm
Hey,
really not.
there's Vince. Good
If you
morning.
can't tell, I'm not highly ambitious.
Makes two of us. How's the knee this morning, Vince?
It's knee. It's very knee.
Vince, I hope you try that stuff I was telling you about. And it's J.R. Watkins muscle rub. Comes in a white tube. As a matter of fact, I got one right here.
Oh, that looks like I think it's the same company, or it looks almost exactly the same. Even the brand name, shave cream. It's more like a paste.
Yeah, this ain't shave cream.
No, I know, but I get a brand of shave cream that's like that, and it's got for one, it's got a weird tangerine scent, which is it's actually kind of nice, but it's like a paste. It's not like real shaving cream. And you only need a little bit, and it's amazing. You put it on, and you're like, this isn't going to do it. And then you add some water to it, and it just goes, and it like lathers out. It's freaking bizarre, and it's super duper slippery. The only problem I've started having with it is as I'm shaving, like if I get it on my hand and the razor, I can't hang on to the razor. I got to like scrub the razor because it's too freaking slippery.
Well, Vince, you can order it from Target.com. And
Target.
If you have any Cracker Barrel stores, they usually have a whole shelf of J.R. Watkins products. And when you go through the doors, you kind of turn left towards the registers, and it's like on the back. It's on the other side of the wall from the vestibule going in. They're about $6 or $7. I've been using stuff like that probably since before you were born. I've tried them all. This stuff is killer. You put on a little, you get a little heat. Put on a lot, you get a lot of heat. If it starts dying down, you just take a washcloth, warm water under the tap, wring it out, slap it on top, and it wakes up again. If you like heat, this is the stuff.
I used a heating pad a lot when I had originally got my knee surgeries done.
Yeah, those work good.
The only problem with adding heat, especially this time of year, is it just makes me sweat.
Yeah.
And I sweat bad enough as it is. It's 55 degrees and I'm sweating. I sweat at 50, 55 degrees.
Well, I've been down here too long. I don't sweat till 80, 85.
Oh, God. Every time I go down there. Actually, you know what? I have found I guess I sweat the same, but down there in Florida, I don't know, it seems to dissipate faster. Even though I know it's humid, there's more air movement, I guess. I still sweat down there, but when I work down there, although I always go down there in the wintertime, so it's not that bad.
Wintertime,
you down there for a year. I did that for like 15 years straight. I went down there every year, like right around Christmas time. I would stay a month and a half, work on houses.
Yeah, in the summertime down here, you can take a shower and get all cleaned up and walk to the mailbox, the end of the driveway. By the time you get back, you're a sweat ball.
Yep. Yeah, when I lived in Miami, it was like that. I hated it. What I hated is I bought a frickin' Camaro with black seats. It was the stupidest thing I ever did.
Down here, I feel sorry for anybody that's got a black car. It'll get 165 degrees inside those things.
It's just stupid buying a black car down there. Black or red. Either one, you're going to get frickin' smoking hot on the inside.
Well, I got a white truck, and I got a remote start.
Yeah, if I were to live in Florida again, I would have a garage.
I got remote start on the truck, so I hit the button and it cools it off before I get there.
Yeah, it's still not good for the actual vehicle, though.
No, but
getting it out of the direct sunlight is.
When you got a garage full of stuff and I can't park my truck inside the garage anyway, it's too big.
Well, you need a bigger garage.
My
garage.
It's too tall. It's wide enough. It's deep enough, but it ain't tall enough.
You need my garage. I built mine. I've only got the 7-foot doors on it now, but my garage. Well, my big garage is a 4-bay garage, so. But one half of it is TJIs with the 14-inch TJIs on it. The other half standard 2x10 construction, and I leveled the floors. So I have an extra, like, almost foot of header space, and I built it so I could pop it out and put a 9-foot door in.
Good morning, CNX Tech.
I almost did, because if I put racks on my van, it won't clear. It just clears now with the door open. I've only got that like 6 inches maybe.
They won't let us have a carport down here, Michael.
Why? They blow away in hurricanes?
Probably.
No reason you can't have a carport. Just got a hurricane strapped the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'm watching. We got something coming across. Started in the Pacific, and it's jumped the isthmus, and it's going to be over in the Gulf. Got to keep an eye on.
This could be the biblical end of the world this year. One thing after another.
I'm not ready to go.
I could really give a crap. I just want to do. If I'm going to die, just make it quick. I don't want to sit there and suffer, and I don't want to spend years in some hospital or freaking hours fucking buried under something. I just want to be dead. Just shoot me in the head and get it over with. I'm ready for a dirt nap.
Fuga Tech Challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is it?
It's just him and his buddies. And he's like trying to get other people in on it, which is cool. I'd do it if I didn't already have other plans, but basically build a under $100 or $150 3D printer, custom, design it, build it yourself. You can't copy someone else's design. I mean, you can use a base idea, a concept. You know, it has to be at least 100 millimeters. It has to be more than 100 millimeters cubed. And he wants you to keep it under 100, but really 150 is realistic. Because you can't even, I mean, there's just no way you're going to do it. Everything's going up in prices.
Yeah.
Even a board now, like the Big Tree Tech boards used to be, $19, $20. Now they're minimum of 30, I think. They've gone up to about, which is, to be honest, $30 for a freaking one of them boards is not outrageous. You're not going to get a board and motors for less than $100 right now.
No.
They think you can. I guess you can if you know where to shop and you can get some deals and, you buy a cheap pancake motor, but
it's hard to do unless you're buying in big quantities. And that sounds like it would have to be a cantilever bed slinger.
Yeah, well, he came out and said that. You're basically going to have to make it a cantilever, like the Creality Ender 2 or the Prusa Mini or What the hell was the other one? The Tronxy X1, I think it was. It'll definitely have to be a cantilever. Thinking of that, I should start whipping out the parts for the hodgepodge.
There you go. You can dream about
my motivation is really, really low. Huh?
You can dream about it when you're having that nap, how you're going to build it.
Well, I really got to get on that. I was kind of hoping that Exo Slides would come through, but that's kind of killing it for me because motion system wise, I don't have, I have all the extrusions and everything, or most of them, but I only have a little bit of V-groove, and I got rid of all my smooth rod because I don't like LMUs. I still have a boatload of LMUs. I just found those the other day. They're all old and crappy and beat up, but I can re-grease them. But I don't think I have but a couple of smooth rods. And I think I have 2 pieces of V-groove left. I have carriages, but I don't think I have enough. I don't have enough motion system. I have motors. That's not a problem. I got a hot end. I can make a damn extruder.
I wonder if that Prusa Mini hot end, the metal part, is worth anything as far as building new printers or putting it on another printer or something like that.
I don't know. You can just buy the freaking carriages. I like the open build knockoff carriages with the wheels and everything for $12, $13.
That's hard to beat.
Yeah, and they're not bad. I've got to say, I bought a boatload of them. I bought actual minis. I bought a whole bunch of the actual mini carriages from Open Builds. They get like $30 for just the 4 wheels and the carriage, that's kind of pricey. I'm sorry. But I bought a few cheapos off of Amazon. I bought 5 or 6. And I found it, 1 wheel out of the 4 you get is bad. But for $12, you buy a couple of them.
You get 2 and put it together.
Yeah, you get 2 for the price of 1, and you got the extra carriage and the extra parts and the extra wheels. And I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. The open build ones are nicer, they're better. But these are, this is a knockoff, and it is not bad. It's not even thin. If you look at aluminum, that's 5mm aluminum, and it's all, nice and hard. It's not soft. Works fine. But you do have to be careful and I prefer the mini wheels. People don't realize if you use a mini wheel, oh God, I got to stop with the hiccups. If you use the mini wheel, the slop from the wheel bearing is smaller into the carriage because there's less distance from the slop to the mounting location. Does that make sense?
I think I see what you're saying. Well, good luck, CNX Tech.
The visiting nurse see Mom. Yeah, it's like anything. Okay, if you have slop here, this is your pinpoint, and it slops. The farther out you go, the more the slop is.
It's called wheel,
and you get smaller slop, smaller play. These things have almost no play. They're nice and tight. I don't think these bearings last as long because they're, it's a smaller bearing with a smaller ball and all that, but they run perfectly smooth. One day I'll actually finish this thing too. Maybe I'll do that this week. I'll just start doing all the crap I wanted to do that I never got around to. Yeah, sure, right on it. Crap. Every time I go to do something else comes up, gets in my damn way. Spent 2 days mowing and I'm still really not done. What is up, Maddie Jake?
Good morning.
Did your in-law have to ship out? And if he did, tell him to stand back and let the idiots be idiots and don't get himself hurt over their stupidity.
CNX Tech is wanting to know if he can ask for some help.
Sure. Go for it. Not sure if you'll get proper answers because we're all a bunch of freaking dumbasses, but sure.
Can always give it a try.
Ask away.
How's the weather today?
Where's Mr. Buttram today? He's
I haven't
usually
seen him yet.
calibration call made a standalone Windows program. Well, you already lost me. Oh, you want to share the link? We can make that happen. Hang on a second there, CPX. Okay, share away. Yeah, freaking, it's just. I'm sorry, Trump's response. I dislike the guy anyways, so there's. But his stupidity of the military intervening when they don't need to is just stupid. Here in Connecticut, we've had literally zero looting and zero problems because the governor came on and said, protest all you want. Do this, do that. We asked two things. Let us know when and where so we can protect you as well as the property. And, please don't destroy stuff. Come. He's like, I think he's going to have a thing where he's going to go out with the protesters and like hang out and talk to them and no looting, no problems. We've had like 3 of them in state already, big, huge ones. One where the only problem we had is they blocked like a main highway up in Hartford for like an hour. And the cops came and actually stood with them and directed traffic and went back, like 2 exits and say, hey, the road's blocked. Here's how you get around. It was like, no problems, no. And then moron goes up there and says, hey, let's go. I'm not going to get into it. I got to stop. No more politics on this stream. Can't stand that moron. Anyway. We'll get over that. I have to have some good feedback so far. I want some more help testing. Sure, post a link and whoever's got Windows can try it. I don't do Windows.
Pill time?
Yeah.
You take your Tylenol and Advil this morning?
Sorry, red light. No, Trump is an idiot. If you haven't figured that out, I mean, come on. The guy thinks you're going to get cancer from freaking windmill noise. And you're going to say, oh, he was joking. But you know what? You can only joke like that so many times until you realize that he's not joking. He's that stupid. Put it this way. I've spent years looking at his job sites. I've never actually worked on any one of them because every time we go to bid, we end up leaving saying no freaking way in hell we would work in that environment. He is for the rich against the poor, plain and simple. It's all about him. And I won't go any further. Enough of politics. I'm just not even going to get into it today. Just pissed me off.
Wonder when that Creality belt printer is going to hit.
I don't know.
They got it out of the hands of
because they're
they got it out of the hands of a few people, but there's no real stuff coming out about it yet. I'm interested.
Well, I think they're going to be in trouble with it because that's why I don't know if you realize Carl and Printed Solid were going to do one, and when Printed Solid started doing the investigation and the patents and stuff, they can't. Black Belt owns like every patent that even like suggests doing a belt style printing. You can build one all you want for yourself, like Carl did. You can release the files to build one yourself. You cannot sell one. Now, I don't know when the patent's up.
Yeah, but who's got the money to go and try and fight that in with a Chinese company?
Yeah, well, Black Belt's got some money. Black Belt's a
I
fairly
thought,
big, small company.
I thought the patent was for one that had a straight up gantry and a belt,
No, they
which is
basically
like
have
Carl
patents
tilted.
on the belt drives, and they've got like, from what I understand, I haven't actually looked into it. But from what I understand, they have like there's like 18 different kinds of ways you could drive the belt, and they have patents on all of them. Any way you could think of to gear and drive a belt on a 3D printer, they've patented. So basically, you cannot put and sell a belted printer. The rest of the printer doesn't matter. It's the belt drive. And theirs is pitched. Pretty sure theirs is at a 45-degree angle. Actually, I think it's at a 32 or something weird. I'm going to have to go look.
Yeah, I'm sure interested in seeing it though. I like the idea.
I think it's like belt printer.
I like the idea of putting a big roll of filament on there and just letting it pump parts without attention.
Yeah, no, I'm, and I'm not actually against black belt, doing their thing. Yeah, the black belt is it's at an angle. It's basically the same thing Carl's got. Little fancier in some ways. But it's the actual belt drive, I believe, that they have their patents on. I'm not sure. Where's Mr. Buttram to correct me on my statements? He's always here to tell me when I'm being wrong.
What does one of them black belt things go for? Big money?
They're like 10 grand or something ridiculous.
Oh, jeez. What are all those fans along the back row? Is that part cooling?
I think that's their version of part cooling, yeah.
Robbie Mack is here. Good morning, Robbie. Yes, it's Tuesday again.
Yeah, we were BSing about
again.
We were BSing about the Creality one. I've seen all those. Black belt printers, desktop version. How much are they getting for them? Oh, here you go. 11 or 15 euros, 15,000 euros, which is like what? 10 and 12 grand for US.
It's like too much money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just the printer too. I mean, they give you the stand and the rollers and all that. That stuff's all expensive because I have this set of rollers right here, and I think I paid $150 for them. I have them behind my portable table saws. I got folding legs. And they're like $150 for this stupid stand. And that's all that is. I guarantee you. That's just a carpenter's roller stand.
For that kind of money, they got to come to the house, cook, clean, do laundry, and wax the truck.
Yeah. They better come set it up and make sure it's freaking running for sure. And then feed it for about a month. It is pretty high quality. I mean, it's all, linear rails and, they have, I believe they have their own board even. It's not like a. What is the board? Miscellaneous. Does it even say specifications travel? It doesn't even say black belt Cura.
You didn't hear any rumors on the price for the Creality belt printer, did you?
Actually, I heard it was going to be like $700 or something. What's up, Tanner?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, good morning, Ricky. How you doing today? You look a little sleepy.
A little bit. I need a haircut in the worst way.
Who just dinged? Was it my ding or your guys' ding? I don't see any messages on my phone, so.
Oh, my phone. I got a text.
Yeah. I was gonna say I heard that text ding. I'm gonna have to change mine now because everybody has the same damn ding.
I don't.
And then when it dings, I think it's mine, and I go looking, and it's
My phone
freaking.
doesn't.
Crap.
So
Have you been playing with the new beta? You have been playing with the new beta blender, haven't you? Because you were doing your wall thing.
I'm playing with the alpha.
Yeah.
It's not even a beta yet. 2.9 alpha.
Yeah, because you're doing that's what's doing. You're doing the pre-made walls and windows and doors and crap, right?
Yeah.
Because supposedly they got some like wicked new sculpting tools that they added in it too.
Yeah, 2.9 is
Big upgrade.
It is, and 2.8 was a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
This isn't as big of an upgrade between like 2.79 and 2.8 was, but they've refined a lot of things. Now, granted, it's not 100% stable. I've had it crash on me.
It never is when they do that.
Ricky,
Remember, that's open source completely. They don't get money. The only money they get is if you say, "Oh, I really like this. I'm going to give them money."
hey, the Edge of Tech is here.
I mean, they do have an
morning,
income. It's not from sales of their software. It's from supporters.
From Patreons.
You got to work today?
If you join the blender.org, what is it? It's Blender.
I do hear one bad thing about the newest update, though. I hear
the Edge of Tech is here.
The Blender Foundation.
Huh?
The Edge of Tech is here. Jim's here.
Hey, Jim.
What's up, man?
And hey, Michael and Robbie.
And everybody else.
And anybody else, yeah. I see red light.
The 11 other morons that have nothing better to do in their lives but watch me sit here and frickin' yak with you guys.
Now you know where all the Guinness jokes come from, Jim.
No, don't get a life. Hang out. Get more people.
Well, and I'm not entirely sure, but the Blender Foundation is they're a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
And they're based out of the Netherlands. They're in Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's where Blender started, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It's like worldwide now. But
yeah, they're in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. And I believe
How you
nonprofit companies get like government support and whatnot in the Netherlands. I mean, someone would have to.
I've been to Amsterdam. That would be the craziest place in the world to drive.
Yeah.
They have tram tracks going down the streets. And you're right driving along next to one, and you look up ahead, and the tracks do a Y. Which way is this guy going? If he's going to the right, I got to stop, but I don't know which way he's going.
From videos that I've seen of driving around the world, the craziest place to drive would 100% be India.
Yeah, they do pretty good.
They have no stoplights, stop signs, or anything like that.
Biggest truck
wherever roads come together, people just drive up and figure it out as they go around each other. And they are far more densely populated than we are.
Yeah.
So they've got like situations where there's like a guy driving a scooter and three more people riding on the scooter with him, and they're weaving through cars.
Yeah,
like
they're only about 200 million people behind China now.
Yeah, but that's the absolute craziest videos. If you know you want to go jump down a rabbit hole for a little bit, just Google traffic in India, and watch a couple videos on YouTube. You'll end up jumping down a rabbit hole all day going, how do they not kill half the people there?
And that's the funny thing. I mean, they have more fender benders. They have way less like fatality, car accident fatalities than we do. Like,
well, but it's because they're so jam packed together. I don't think you ever get up to a fatal speed.
Yeah,
speed
true.
Is what kills.
Yep.
If you're never driving more than 25, 35 miles an hour, fewer people die.
25 miles an hour, you can do a lot of damage. I broke my neck at 25 miles an hour.
Well, you can, yes.
It don't take much.
But it's
25 miles an hour is moving pretty fast when you impact something.
It's less likely.
Oh, granted.
Like, another rabbit hole to jump.
do the bounce off anyways.
Yeah, and another rabbit hole to jump down is watching supercars crash on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
When they're going 200 miles an hour and a little air gets underneath the car and the car just suddenly goes whoop.
Yeah, boy.
I've driven on the Autobahn.
Yeah.
I had a rental car, and I got on the Autobahn, and I put my foot to the floor, and it didn't come off the floor until it was time to get off and get more gas.
Right? Yeah.
But the car would only do about 110 miles an hour tops on level ground.
And it was probably vibrating.
Yeah, I got my money's worth out of that rental. But I'm going along, and they got stay the heck out of the left lane unless you're really moving. I got a truck coming up, and I look in the mirror, and I can see a mile and a half back. Nobody there. Put on the blinker. I come out to go to pass. 2 seconds later, there's a Mercedes behind me, flashing the lights, beeping the horn. Where the hell did he come from? Man, they move on that thing. But it is a gorgeous highway. Smoother than a baby's butt.
Yep.
Oh. Bank corners, big corners.
Well, it has to be, because if you hit a pothole at 200 miles an hour,
yeah,
there's a fatal accident happening.
Was stationed in Germany for like 6 years, and he bought a 65 or 66 76 Trans Am, the whole Smoking the Bandit thing. The only difference is his navy blue instead of black. Well, when he was stationed over there, he actually had his car shipped over and drove it over there. And he got it, I don't know, he said like 160 miles an hour on the Autobahn before he got scared. And he's actually got it back. He still got it. He has it stored in his garage.
Another neat place to try? Italy. The Italians have a very sensible way of doing their speed limits. If your engine size is between this and this, you can go this fast. The bigger the engine you got, the faster you can go. I'm on the road going into Venice. It's about 75 miles, straight as an arrow, flat as a pancake. You can see the telephone poles shrink to the horizon. I'm tooling along, doing about 80, 90. I look in the mirror, and there's nothing there. 2-3 seconds later, here comes a red Ferrari. Went by me so fast. All I can tell you is there was a blonde in the passenger seat. That's it. Red.
Yeah.
Passing on the right in Germany, Michael. They take that very seriously.
Yeah, especially when you're doing 200 miles an hour. Yep.
Another crazy place to drive, the Bahamas. They use our style cars, but drive on the other side of the road, which is a lot of fun when you try to pass a box truck.
Yeah, that would be weird because you can't see around it.
No, you can't. If you don't have a passenger to guide you, you're just stuck behind that truck. Oh,
Ass backwards. At least in other countries, they move the seat to compensate for driving on the other side of the road.
Yeah, well, they're so close to the U.S. here, so they use our cars.
Oh, they are U.S. counted. Aren't they a U.S. colony or whatever?
No, it used to be British. That's
why
they drive on the other side of the road. But they got their independence or whatever, and so the roads are all set up, but now they use our cars.
Oh, well, bad for them.
They do have some beautiful beaches over there, though.
I'm sure.
I wonder how...
They get wiped out by hurricanes like 10 times a year.
Yeah, I wonder how they're recovering from that hurricane last year. I haven't seen a lot in the news.
Yeah, it's really not a high priority anymore.
Oh.
So I was watching when you guys were talking about the belt printers.
Yeah.
There's a couple different patents involved. The patent for like removal of a print via belt belongs to MakerBot.
Yeah, well, I think MakerBot actually owns Black Belt, don't they?
No,
You're talking about like
unless
the
they
blade,
bought them.
the blade at the end that'll catch it and pop it off.
Right, but Black Belt has the patent for
The belt.
the Infinite Z.
Yeah. I believe their patent is actually just for the belt, the actual belt system. It has nothing to do with the gantry and the 45-degree angle. It's literally just the belt. That's what I understand. I'm not positive. Where's Mr. Buttram? He's our fact checker of the world. He's not here today. We're missing Mr. Buttram. Where's Mr. Buttram?
And the other thing to keep in mind is Black Belt's patent is still pending.
Yeah.
So the legal slippery slope with a pending patent, you can copy it all you want. You just might have to pay a portion of your. You might have to pay a portion of your proceeds or get shut down if the patent ever goes through.
Yeah. Well, they've had that patent pending for what, 10 years now or whatever? Been around a while. I don't know how long. I'm just guessing. Yeah, Creality won't have a problem, I'm sure.
Well, in China, they don't observe U.S. patents.
They could care less.
It's hard to get any kind of patent in China. The problem is you can the Chinese can make them, but they can't sell them here if it's covered on.
Yeah, the worst thing that they could face is not being able to sell it in the United States.
Right, or Europe, which are their two big things. Because Europe actually honors our patents generally.
But as long as the patent status is still pending, they face no repercussion for it whatsoever.
But I think the patent's actually filed in Europe. It's not an American patent. It's a European patent with a co-patent or whatever here in the United States.
Hey, Dan, you're back at work today. Good morning.
I don't know for sure. I'm not a patent lawyer.
That was a pretty good show last night, Jim.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. I wish I could have watched more of it. I kept bopping in and out, making dinner, and then feeding Mom. I actually sat there with Mom and ate it. Matter of fact, those guys said hi. I made them all say hi to Mom. The only thing that sucks is, like, I can watch, like, YouTube on Comcast, on a regular Comcast cable box. You can do YouTube, but the chat doesn't show. So, like, watching this right now, the chat wouldn't show. Hi, Mom. No, she's not here. They were saying hi to my mom last night because she was sitting there eating dinner, watching this, going, "This is ridiculous. What are they doing?" He's gonna, my mother's biggest comment there, Jim, was, "You're gonna get your hair caught in the printer." She said that like 4 times. He's gonna get his hair caught in that printer. It's like, no, he won't, Mom.
So, Tom, I found the info for the Black Belt patent for you.
Okay.
Black Belt 3D is still patent pending. And we don't have any ideas of what the claims on these patents are. However, Black Belt was kind enough to share that they are only claiming the belt material, an adjustable angle for the extrusion plane, and G-code manipulation.
Oh, so it's the angle of it's the angle. It's not the belt. See, I always thought it was the belt itself.
The belt material.
Yeah.
Because their
they
belt
use a
is
carbon fiber belt.
Right, and the belt material you can print directly on the belt.
Yeah.
So as long as your belt is a situation where you're not directly printing on the belt, you don't violate that patent. So if you're printing on like a surface applied to the belt,
well, that's their belt
around that.
I'm pretty sure theirs is like a carbon fiber belt with PEI or something attached to it.
Right. Yeah, it's some sort of composite material itself.
Yeah,
and you can print directly on the belt. Whereas like Carl's White Knight, it's a like stainless steel belt with just a print surface applied to it.
He's got build tack.
Yeah.
Did
So
build tack
it's got
go
a build tack applied to a stainless steel belt. So it's totally different material.
Is build
Good
tack
morning,
going
Mike. How's things in Canada today?
I keep hearing build tack's going to go under. I know the build tack chick quit. It's like our family business.
Hmm.
Hey, Ricky, what's that big rocket ship looking print behind you with the orange, white, and black?
That's his
I hadn't seen that.
Red Rocket or whatever he's calling it. You haven't seen that thing?
No.
I think it's pretty cool. I want to make it actually fly.
I doubt it.
Oh, I don't.
This is it's called the Dagger.
The Dagger.
Okay.
It's a 2-seater starfighter jet.
Cool.
And it's huge. It's over 800 millimeters long and 500 millimeters wide.
Where's the guns?
What's that?
Where's the guns?
Molded in. I don't know if you can see the.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I think we can drop a couple.
Did you design that?
That thing and make it fly.
And I'm going to make some wings that have some missile mounting.
Ah, pylons. Cool.
Kind of looks like one of those Lost in Spacey Star Wars.
It's like a slicker Star Wars.
The body actually started off.
What was one Xylons with their little eyeballs going back and forth?
The body actually started off modeling it after a Indy car.
Oh, yeah, I see that. I see that. No, you see that.
So it started off as an Indy car that I stretched the nose on, put some wings on it and a tail.
Is that what it is, Michael?
That's cool.
And inside it seats.
Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's what it looks like. Kind of reminds me of the Battlestar Galactica one.
What do you got inside there?
Oh,
a cockpit and a pilot and
a Steel Brigade soldier and Snake Eyes.
Oh, cool.
Snake Eyes.
Which this is the first design on this. I'm going to carve a groove into here so that this is designed to, when you slide it forward before you hinge it up.
Yeah.
Because of the steep angle of the back of the canopy, it has to slide forward before rotating up.
Yeah, it won't clear the pivot point if you, yeah.
Because otherwise, if you try to just lift it straight up, the back corners of the canopy interfere with the edge of the body. But like I said, simple enough to fix. Just make some grooves so that
so you slide it forward and then pop it up.
You unlatch that, slide it forward, and then open it up.
Oh boy! Oh crap!
Well, guys, I have to go. I got a doctor's appointment this morning, so I got to go and get ready.
Get poked and prodded.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Cough to the left, cough to the right.
Could be. Anyway, it's been nice chatting with everybody and seeing everybody, and I hope everybody has a good day. And
take it easy, Jimmy.
I'll see you on the next stream.
See you, man.
Bye, all.
I have no ambition to do a damn thing.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
I said I have no ambition to do a damn thing.
Oh.
I'm in total lazy mode. Like all cloudy and hazy. I swear to God, I'm solar powered. If the sun's not out, I have no ambition. Even if it's not outside, I have to have sun. It's like, it's not terrible out. It's just kind of covered. I really wanted to go outside and do some stuff, and it's no ambition, no desire, no wants, no needs. Don't want to print anything. Got the printer sitting here and just don't want to deal with it. Did fix my mother's light thing yesterday, which made her happy, and it worked pretty well. So I used all TPU. 90 and humid. You can have that. I'd rather have. It's actually kind of nice out. It just hit 60, and it's not that humid. There's a light breeze, but it's just mildly overcast. It's not even bad. It's just that thin layer, and it just makes it kind of hazy. And I just motivated. I stayed up too late last night.
It's currently 73 today with a high of 86.
Yeah, you can have that too. This is like perfect weather for me.
73% humidity today. So if you listen closely, you can hear my filament absorbing water.
Yep.
73%.
Well, 72% depends on the temperature too. So people don't realize you got a low temperature with a high humidity. It doesn't mean there's any more. It's just based on the temperature.
It looks like Thursday we got some thunderstorms.
I don't even know. I think we're supposed to have storms today. It was gorgeous yesterday afternoon, and like literally within an hour, it like gloomed over and frickin' started raining.
Yeah, yesterday was amazing here.
Oh yeah, we got rain coming. Probably within the next hour or two.
There's Mr. Buttram.
It's actually staying south of us.
Good morning, Ryan.
Little spots. It's not moving. The weather's not moving on my screen. It's just sitting there. Probably because it's overdoing my bandwidth or whatever, and processor speeds and blah 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 blah. There's Mr. Buttram. Dude, you are way late.
You don't listen to me,
needing you to correct all my incorrect information of incorrectness. We needed the Mr. Buttram frickin' encyclopedia of Tom being the dumbass. I was spitting out all kinds of dumb facts that weren't right. Tanner had to cover for you. He corrected me. I'm only one man. Yeah, I know, but you are the factual put dumbass Tom in his place guy. That's your job, dude. Tanner had to cover for you, man. It was bad.
I had to go put on a shirt and
Google. You had to Google something.
Google stuff. So we get on the stream and Google stuff.
You had to get on stream and Google stuff. I really wish you're not that big. You're a little overweight, but you ain't that big, are you? I mean, I'm overweight. This is the heaviest I've ever been.
Me too.
I need to lose weight. I'm trying. I keep going. I'm not going to eat junk food. What do? I go shopping. What do? I freaking buy a bunch of cinnamon rolls and donuts. Although I'm getting better because I'm doing this as tempting. I opened this yesterday, and instead of eating the whole box, I ate about a third of the box or package.
Yeah,
and I used to sit down and eat that whole damn pack like nothing.
I'm not really trying, but I should. I'm also, I'm trying to at least be more conscious of the things that got me here and not do those things.
Yep. Well, I'm starting to do especially with this whole, sit at home thing. I'll start watching a movie and I'll just start stuffing crap in my face just because, you're sitting there watching a movie and that's what you do. And I'm starting to do I really don't need that. Or I only want 2 or 3 cookies instead of the whole package. Or, instead of drinking 2 or 3 sodas during this movie, I'll have a glass of water instead. I'm just trying to not be a fanatical. Oh, I'm gonna go on a diet, but I just want to start being a little more sensible about how much crap I put in my mouth.
Well, like 5 years ago, I was 178.
Yeah.
Today, I'm 216.
Well, you're heavier than me now.
Yeah.
I'm about 205-ish, which is when I broke my neck, I was a little over 205 when they took the halo off my head. I was 135 when they put it on, and I was 205 when they took it off. Yeah, not when you're only 5'8". I'm only 5'8".
I'll say I'm 6 feet tall, so
Yeah. Still, that's pretty heavy even for you. You should be in the 180s at 6 foot. I should be about 170, 175. If I really wanted to be like optimum prime weight, I should be in, the upper 150s, 160s.
But don't listen to a BMI chart. They're ridiculous.
No, I know. If I can get myself back down to 175, usually this time of year, I am. By now, I'm usually like 175, 180, because normally I start working now and, roofing, and because this is roofing season. You start roofing, you lose. Actually, you gain weight for like the first week because you start building muscle tone again, and then you drop weight like rapidly.
Well, that's been part of my weight gain as well. As I've started lifting weights.
Yeah. You actually gain when you start lifting weights. You'll gain weight before you lose weight. You'll probably gain 5 or 10 pounds.
Yeah, I've probably gained 10 pounds. 10 pounds of it's probably been muscle because I started lifting weights during this whole quarantine thing.
Yeah, I need to start lifting weights. I've been
because I have an entire gym here at my house.
Yeah. I have the room for a gym if I could just get my mother's crap out of every single room in the house. I still have yet to evict her from my room. That upper part of my closet is still full of her crap.
The best part is I put that entire home gym together for about $300.
I have a Bowflex out in the garage.
So we've got one of the the weeder multi kind of machine things where it does everything. And then I've got a weight bench, and we've got a regular stationary bicycle. We have 2 recumbent
Holy
bikes.
Crap. Why are you overweight? I'd be sitting on that crap. It's weird. I'm one of those people that actually use that crap when it's around.
Yeah.
We have a treadmill. Like everyone says, why don't you put it out in the garage? Because then they're going to go out in the garage. I don't want to be out in the garage. If it was in this, like I've got a bedroom right next door that should be empty. It's just full of junk. That's all that's in there. VCR tapes, audio tapes, all from the 70s. None of it's any good. She won't let me get
the most expensive single piece that I have is a rowing machine.
No, again, my Bowflex does that.
The rowing machine.
Why I like the Bowflex. You realize the Bowflex does all of that.
Well, it doesn't have the recumbent bike in it.
No, it's the only thing it doesn't have. It does have a rowing machine built in, though. The seat slides.
Yeah, this is the full slide with the place where you put your butt. It slides back and forth, and
the seat slides.
It's got a fan on it that circulates air in the room while you're doing it. It's kind of.
You can use the bows on your arms, or you can use it on your legs. So when you're pushing, or you can make it do both. You can tie them all together. The Bowflex is actually a pretty nice. I've had it for years. I love the damn thing. Just got to get it set back up in the house. I'm not going to use it out in the garage. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. There's no heat. There's no air conditioning. It's a wide open garage. So if the days off, I won't use it. And the days that are off are the days I want to use it. When the weather's perfect, I don't need it because I'm outside working in the yard or doing something. If it's crappy and rainy out, I don't want to sit in a crappy ass garage. I want it in the house, and I can't set it up in here. There ain't enough room.
Yeah, like most of the equipment that I've got up there, I got for free.
Yeah, I didn't pay much for the Bowflex
because if you look at if you keep an eye on like Craigslist and like Facebook Marketplace, usually somewhere around April or May, people will be wanting rid of the stuff, and they'll get rid of it for free if you come pick it up. 206.6.
My neighbor's moving in. Yeah, I like that house being vacant for the last year. Damn it. Their house like right here that's been vacant for like a year. It's been quiet. And now they're all moving in. And they got kids and they're out there screaming, and I want to shoot them with my BB gun. I don't like neighbors.
We've got new neighbors that have decided that they don't want to observe leash laws in Clarksville.
Yeah, see, we don't care about that. I don't give a crap. My neighbors all have dogs that they just roam free through the yard. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I can get it. If you're in like a cul-de-sac area, I get it. I mean, we're basically in the woods here.
Right. This is
the street.
This is a subdivision with house after house after house. Situation. And they let their dog just roam free. I'm like, they don't have a fenced-in backyard, so it can't be out like fenced. They don't ever let it in the house. It stays out 24/7, and it's always in other people's yards, not just theirs.
That would be I'd be calling a freaking animal control over.
Well, and so that's where I'm at with it right now. I'm like, do I say to them, I'd really appreciate it if you keep your dog out of my yard. There are leash laws here in Clarksville. Or do I just call animal control and let animal control fine them?
Yeah. Do you get along with them? I mean, are they reasonably? If someone I get along with, I'd probably say something. If someone I can't stand, I would just call the frickin'.
I don't know them from nothing. They moved in a couple months ago, and I haven't said one word to them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's up to you. Dogs don't bother me. They, honestly, a full-size dog does not bother me. I hate them little itty-bitty yelpies. And I don't mind the dog. Like, if I go to someone's house and the dog's there and I pet it and it'll sit in my lap and it's like a little cat that's a dog, that don't bother me. It's that constant that drives me freaking batty.
Yesterday, 2 cars had to put on their brakes and honk to get the dog out of the street.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Right here in front of my house. I'm like, so that dog's going to end up hit and killed.
This is probably what they're counting on.
I'm like, it's
Why
not.
Am I hearing that truck? Oh, is he jumping out? Freaking! I can't see him. Oh, I think he is. I think I'm getting wood chips. Yeah, more wood chips. That's just what's going on. He's dumping me off some more wood chips. I like wood chips.
You use it for like landscaping and stuff, or what?
Yeah, well, there's a pit out front that we've been for like 50 years. We've been dumping brush and leaves and everything into it. And it's getting kind of scraggly. So I went in there with my weed whacker as best I could and cut down the standing like branches and crap. And he's just dumping like piles and kind of spreading them out. And we're just going to cover it all and not dump in there for a couple of years. Let it break down. Because it looks like crap. I mean, it's just like, with all the storms and everything we've had in the last 20 years, 30 years, it's just full of junk. And when he came and did the trees for me, he's like, what do you, I got to haul the wood chips away. No, you're not. Dump them right here. I got plenty of places for you to dump your wood chips. It's like, really? He's like, the town charges me $50 a pop to dump them. I'm like, spread. Don't just keep dumping them in the same place. Don't overdo it. But, if you're working down the street and it'll save you $50, dump them in the pit, and just, make sure I can spread them out and make it neat. Don't just be an idiot about it. But you can dump them all day long. I could probably take 20, 30 truckloads easily. Just cover the crap. Yeah,
something that may help on the whole diet thing is my wife signed us up for the Home Chef stuff. So I have a delivery coming today of
who knows whatever dinner is going to be.
Yeah.
I've looked into those. I'm a little too much of a picky eater for that stuff. There's certain things that I just, for one, both me and my mother are allergic to a lot of stuff like mustards and
you can go in and
everybody
and pick through their menu what you want them to deliver.
Yeah, well, that's just it. They're that's what he was doing, was dumping wood chips. 90% of the stuff, I get like 3 different meals out of them, and that's it. I've yet to find one that more than 2 or 3 of the meals that they sell, I would actually enjoy eating.
So yeah, today is actually my first delivery from Home Chef is coming in today. So.
Where's he going? Oh, he just turned around. Sweet, more wood chips. Yeah, fill that pit up. And he moved it down too. Awesome. Guess I'm going to go out with a pitchfork today. I wasn't ambitious, but I'm actually kind of into that. That's the perfect thing to do today. I'll just stand there with a pitchfork and go. That'll be my exercise. I don't need a weight kit. Pitchfork and some wood chips. And yes, I didn't think pitchfork. I always thought a snow shovel. And he started laughing at me when he first slapped him off the first time. When I started using a snow shovel, it's like, dude, get a pitchfork. Just get a pitchfork. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, here, take mine for 10 minutes. I'm like, 10 minutes to do it with a pitchfork. I'm like, yeah, get a pitchfork. moves, which, you know, because this is.
And then all you need to join the Angry Villagers is a torch if things, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is lawn and garden wood chip. This stuff's all like a foot long. He's got one of those monstrosities where he can feed like 6-inch limbs through it, and it just pulverizes it. But it leaves the wood chips are, a foot long, a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's nice stuff actually for woodland landscaping. It's not lawn and garden, your front yard and the multi-million-dollar home. It's woodland stuff. You throw it in the ground and
later, Jim.
Really, really good, I hear, for killing the poison ivy.
So yeah, let's see what we're getting today. We're getting we're only doing a couple meals a day, or a couple meals a week. We're getting French onion steak risotto and smoked Gouda crusted chicken with barbecue spiced green beans.
I don't know why I keep doing it. Actually, it was Jim. I keep calling him Tim and Tim Jim. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Been doing that.
Edutech is Jim.
Yeah. Nerdy J, Jim.
Yes.
Anyway. Yep. Techie Jesus. I don't know why they started calling Nerdy Jesus. It's Techie Jesus. Edge of Tech. Techie Jesus.
Right.
Get it right. No. Anyway. I guess I got to go throw wood chips around.
Yay.
I don't have to do it this minute. I'll do it after lunch.
Oh, crap. I need to go take my thyroid pill.
You have thyroid?
Yes, I have a. It's not as active. It's not as active as it should be, which is part of the weight gain that I've experienced as well.
Mm.
And now I'm on medication.
I'm actually excited to go through road chips around. Is that sad or freaking what? I'm actually going, yeah, I'm into that. I'm ready to go do that. That's my exercise for today. I don't know. Why? You want to jump in, Viking? Jump in. I've been thinking about quitting. I've been thinking about letting it go. I don't know. Until I get bored of it. I'm already getting bored of it. I kind of need a nap, and yet I'm thinking about going out, throwing some wood chips around, filling in the pit, smoothing it out. Not really filling it in, just smoothing it out, getting rid of some of the crap. Cover the crap. Make it look better. Go weed whack around it a little bit, make it look nice. Maybe that's what I'll be doing. Should almost do that now while it's kind of cool out. Or maybe I'll go make another cup of coffee.
Before I forget to take my pill, I'm going to go get it and take it.
Go take the damn pill, you sick bastard. Oh, I should print something. There was something I wanted to print, something small, and I can't remember what it was. While I have TPU loaded, it was something TPU I wanted to make. Something a little clip, something, and I can't remember what the hell it was. Not a clue. That was yesterday. Today is a whole another day of old man freaking. No Dickosaurus. I don't need that.
Yeah, when we started talking to the doc about what was going on, I'd been putting on weight rather quickly, and
Jesus, your phone's blowing up, dude.
yeah, the Friday 3D printing hangout community is doing a group message.
Oh, yeah, you do that on occasion, don't you?
Yeah. And you know how group messages go. One person says something, and then everybody else starts jumping in and replying, and next thing you know, the message thing is going to
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was having like this midday crash where at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I would have to lay down and take a nap.
That's pretty much where I am now, right now. I have to. But I've always been that way because I get up wicked early in the morning. I mean, I'm up by 4:30 generally. Even if I'm awake. I shouldn't say I'm up. I'm awake. By 5:30, I'm out of bed moving around.
It affects you mentally as well because you're beating yourself up over, I'm gaining all this weight, and you lazy bastard, why are you laying down in the middle of the day to take a nap?
Yep.
You start beating yourself up over it rather than realizing that there's actually a medical condition that's causing all of it.
Yeah, it's called laziness for me.
And then you go see the doctor, and the doctor says, you have hypothyroidism. And then everything starts falling into place, and you go, oh, okay. So there's a reason why my body ran out of energy at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a reason I'm gaining weight and don't feel like doing anything. Because, I was blaming on, I am getting older. I'm 43 now.
Puppy. You're still a pup.
I'm like, I am getting older. Maybe that, has to do with it. And I do, at the time, the job I was working is physically demanding, and I am working, 5-6 days a week, and I do work unusual hours.
Are you fully back to work again? I know they did the whole.
No.
I was gonna say they cut you off again, didn't they?
Yeah. I had the chance to get 2 shows in before all this shut it back down.
Yeah. This shouldn't last that long, though.
No. So
this will last a week or something.
I'm like, 2 shows. Woohoo! Back home.
Well, keep at it. I mean, start practicing, you lazy bastard.
By show number 2, I was good. First show hurt my fingers. Second show didn't hurt my fingers anymore.
Yeah.
So it won't take me long to get back up to speed.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, once it was actually a huge relief once I found out there was an underlying medical condition causing me to have no energy, to gain weight, to crash in the middle of the day.
What the hell did I want to pray?
Because most people couldn't handle the schedule that I had. Where some days I work in the morning and some days I work in the afternoon, some other days I work late at night.
Yeah, that I did that for a short term, but I was in my 20s, and even then I burned out after like 6 months, a year.
Right, because people don't understand how hard that is. Where one day you go to work at leave for work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then another day you leave for work at 7 o'clock at night.
War binky. I already have a war binky. I designed the war binky. I will not show the war binky on my stream in the morning.
So, you leave for work at 9 o'clock in the morning, get home 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then literally the very next day, you leave for work at 7 o'clock at night and get home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah,
I did. I work construction 5 days a week, At night, I had 2 jobs. One was working in a restaurant Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Plus, I worked a video store Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings sometimes, and a couple of nights a week. If the restaurant was slow or something, I wouldn't go in. So, and then to top it all off, I started working at Kellogg Marine, packing boxes at night. I had like 5 jobs all at the same time.
Yeah, the most I had was I had 3 jobs,
20s.
3 jobs at the same time when I got custody of my daughter, and I worked 7 days a week, 16 hours a day.
Yeah. I gotta say, when I work for a guy framing, and around here in the summertime, it's really hard to move Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So he's the one that got me on. We started doing 10-hour a day, 4 days a week. We work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 or 12 hours a day, depending on the push. And we would not work Friday, Saturday, Sunday doing construction because it was stupid. You spend more time trying to get to the job site and leave the job site than you did actually working. It literally take you a couple hours to go 10 miles back, especially back then. It's not as bad now. But back then with the beaches and everything, it was just ridiculous. So he's like, if you guys want to, we'll do, 10-hour days instead of 8-hour days, Monday through Thursday in the summer. And everyone was like, frick, yeah. Have Friday off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. And,
for most jobs out there, that's a much more sensible schedule, to be honest.
When you're working outside, though, especially in the summer, a 10-hour day is kind of brutal.
Right.
It's not as bad. Like this was a framer. That's all we did. All the guy did was frame houses. You're exposed, but you're not as bad as like when I did roofing and siding, where you're like right up against the house and the sun's blaring on you, or on a roof where the sun's blaring on you. I mean, framing is still blaring on you, but you kind of can get away from it some, and it's not as bad. But yeah, a 10-hour day in the middle of the summer is kind of brutal. Especially when it's hot and humid. But we always had the option. If he knew that, like, that was the other thing, too. If we had a bad weather day on, like, a Thursday or Monday through Thursday, if there was a bad weather day, he's like, you guys want to work Friday and make it up?
A company that we were working on their website and helping them with some infrastructure stuff as well. They went from 5/8s to 4/10s, and the reason being where the company was located, they were kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Like all the people that worked there drove like an hour to get there.
Yeah,
all the people that worked there drove an hour to get there because it was so far out, it just way out in the country. And
I 4/10s is way better.
They switched to going to 4/10s instead of 5/8s, and like all the workers were so happy because they were like one less day of driving to and from work, an hour each way.
And I find a lot of people are more productive. Like even myself, I find it like on a normal 8-hour day, you work until lunchtime, and by lunchtime, especially construction, we start early, 7 in the morning. So by lunchtime, your day is like 3/4 over. So you get out of lunch and you kind of slack off. Or if it's a 10-hour day, the day's not, it's only half over, if that makes sense. Right. And you're like, okay, let's go back to work. And I don't know, it just seems like we got more done because the day was longer, if that makes sense.
The guy we were working with at that company, he was newly had taken over the company, and he was making all these wide sweeping changes across the company to make it better. And he sat down and crunched the numbers, and he was like, he's like, we're more productive.
Yep, you are.
And he said it's the same as giving all these employees in here a raise, because now they're only driving to work 4 days a week.
Yeah, so they're saving all that money in gas.
And so they're saving 2 hours of driving a week, they're saving, half a tank of gas a week. He said it was the same as giving every employee in here a raise.
Later, Jimmy. Oh, you already left. Because the other thing I did for the state for a while, we had a bunch of people quit when I was working in the state park. And so we were shorthanded. So I went to the guys like, look, dude, I'm up in the morning. I don't want to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd rather start at 6. And I'm like, I'll come in at 6, start doing some of the nasty crap nobody else likes, because it didn't really bother me. Like cleaning the bathrooms. Everyone hates cleaning the bathrooms. It never bothered me. I mean, I don't want to do it, but it doesn't. There's people that like gag when they see a state park bathroom. I don't know if you've ever been in a state park bathroom after, day at the beach, but it's freaking nasty. But I don't,
you don't have to tell me anything about nasty bathrooms. I work in bars in Nashville on Broadway.
Yeah, but this is a big, huge building like bathroom. It's not just a little bathroom.
When I get done playing on a closing shift and I walk into the bathroom, to use the bathroom before making my hour drive home, I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Somebody's on Twitch speaking in some foreign language. Anyway, but I just go into like 6 o'clock in the morning. I hit the damn bathroom with a garden hose. It's a concrete building with all ceramic and porcelain crap in it. I literally would hook at the garden hose and just start at the ceiling and work my way down the walls, hitting toilets, sinks, urinals, everything. Just garden hose the crap out of it. And then you go down and you just wipe everything down. It wasn't that, and it's easy when I'm by myself because there's nobody else there. I don't have to worry about anyone getting wet. I don't have to worry. I put my raincoat on. I put my freaking galoshes boots on, and I just garden hose the freaking room down. Right. And I can get 2 bathrooms done by myself faster than 4 or 5 of these kids would do it. So I'd come in at 6, and I worked Monday, Tuesday, took Wednesday off, worked Thursday, Friday, and then took Saturday, Sunday off, which was really nice getting that one day, work 2 long days and then get a day off and then work 2 long days.
Have a recharge day in the middle.
Really nice.
Oh, so XP Pen released a new graphics tablet.
I'm looking at that because I'm really not happy with the Wacom now. Although I have a feeling it will have the same problems. The new Mac OS, Apple just updated its OS again, like in the last month. And there's been a lot of, they always do the major update and then they do a lot of little fixies to it after, once it gets out in the public. And it's just bugging out my freaking Wacom tablet. It just does not work right.
Yeah, this is
what it does work now is I can actually use the tablet as a mouse touchpad.
Yeah, this one's huge. This one's 24-inch.
Yeah, that's too big. You don't want that. Dude, I had a big one before this little one, and it worked nice. I actually had a monoprice, and it was a big, huge one. I think it was 18 inches wide by 12 inches tall. It was huge. Yeah. It was a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, because you still need the keyboard, and you can't have the keyboard anywhere near around it. It's like not, you know what I mean? It's not in reach. It became more of a pain in the ass to use any of the keyboard shortcuts and stuff in the apps, which I'm sure you use 90% of. And I mean, what do you want a tablet for? Are you going to use a tablet with Blender?
Yeah.
Or are you going to use it with
the Blender? Boop.
Okay. I wouldn't get much bigger than a 12-inch.
The goal is to be able to use it to do the sculpting stuff in Blender.
Yeah.
Because
I use, dude. I went from that big old 18-inch.
Sculpting with this sucks.
Oh yeah, it does. I used to have the Wacom A4 oversized. It was huge, way too big. This is just a bit too small. I would rather go one size up, but
I got
way better. Up. Yeah, I would rather have this than the large one.
Yep. It's in your way. It's too big.
Yeah. At least for me, it is.
Me too. Well, almost everyone I've talked to that's gone to the big ones have said it's more of a pain in the butt than it's worth.
Yeah.
It just gets in your way because again, you need all the keyboard shortcuts, so you always need the keyboard and you always need your mouse around you. And you get that big tablet, and then you're like doing this to get to the keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah. It was way too big for my use.
I would save the money, dude, and get like the biggest one I would get is like the 10.5. I think is their standard size, 10.5 by 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that
would
be
be
the
good.
biggest one I would buy. This is a 6x9. And you have the 6x4, right?
Yeah, probably around that.
That's the actual working surface area. The unit's bigger than that, but the actual working surface area is like I don't know what's 6 inches. What's 6 inches in millimeters? I'm assuming yours is in millimeters.
I can't remember what it's. Yeah, it probably is. But
yours is like 160 centimeters working area by like 100 and
something like that. Yeah,
or mine's a little bit bigger. Yeah, I wish I'd gone up to the. This is the 9x6, 6x9. I call it 9x6, and I really wish I'd gone to the 10x8.5. But I wouldn't go any bigger. The 12-inch was too big, and the 18-inch was too big. The 18-inch was freaking huge. It was obnoxious.
Yeah, I would like having one on the Cintiqs. Or
see, that is something I could see having the bigger one where you could see it and it's right there.
Well, that's the type of graphics display tablet I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about a display tablet, not a pen tablet. But I still don't think I'd go more than a foot.
Yeah. It depends on the use.
I think the sweet spot that, as far as what I've been researching, the sweet spot is like the 16-inch, the 15.6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Screen.
So I don't think I'd go that big. I think you'll find it's clunky in your way. Although again, I haven't used one of those. I mean, I played with one when they first came on. The first Syntec came out. I went to like a Mac World thing years and years and years ago. When the Syntex were like $10,000.
Yeah, I think that's still too expensive.
But wanted to show for 5 minutes, and it didn't. But even then, they were just little. They were like a 19-inch screen. It was the biggest one you could get.
Well, like I was messing around with trying to sketch something on the sketch program I have on my.
On the CY,
and it's way too small.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this probably isn't for you. If you went to like an iPad,
that would be a nice size.
Yeah, this is just my iPad.
Yeah,
and believe it or not, Blender I think has an iPad version now.
I don't think so.
I know they were talking about it because now you can get the iPad with the pen.
Mm-hmm. There are several programs out there, but Blender does not have a mobile.
Well, I would I would stick with Blender just because you know Blender. I don't think Blender is the end all greatest thing, but it is pretty versatile. And if you learn it, it's one of the hardest ones to learn. So if you've learned it,
it's only hard to learn if you try to learn it all at once.
Yeah.
No,
I like the sculpting part. I still have a lot to learn about it.
Learn the one thing you want to learn, and forget the rest.
Yeah, but I can't learn like that.
To learn.
I need to be able to go in and just do it. And you can't in Blender. Like Fusion, I can go in and just do it. Blender, I can never do it. It's too right-handed centric. I'm left-handed, and Blender is very
nothing to do with which hand is your dominant hand.
Left-handed. I'm left-handed,
and it doesn't matter because you go into the user preferences and change the user preferences to be left-handed, right-handed, whatever hand you want. You can set it up to use it with your feet.
Every left-handed person I know says the same thing. Blender is right-handed dominant layout.
No, it is not.
Because of the mouse and the keyboard, and because you have being left-handed, you can't use a lot of those mice with all the buttons. You have to have a left-handed one. You can't use a shaped one. Anything that needs a left, right, and middle mouse button.
This mouse is the same left or right-handed. It has no difference. It's the same shape either way.
Doesn't work the same. And most people that are left-handed don't use mice because we're smarter than that. We use trackballs.
It's the same shape.
I'm just fucking with you.
It's the same shape either way. Either hand you put this
I'm
in,
just screwing with
same
you, dude.
shape.
No, I still don't.
It's exactly the same shape on the left as it is on the right.
Your keyboard combos are still off because your hand is on the wrong side of the keyboard. You're kind of doing this. It just
You're pushing one button at a time. It doesn't matter which hand you do it with. I could do it with my right hand.
Look, when I'm operating a keyboard, I don't have to look at the keyboard. The problem is I can't use my right hand in the left-handed area of the keyboard without looking. It's just weird. It ends up being. It feels wrong. Where Fusion, I pick up Fusion. ZBrush even. I find ZBrush confusing.
Fusion has keyboard shortcuts.
Blender, I've never gotten anything to work within an hour.
Fusion has keyboard shortcuts. What do you do with its keyboard shortcuts?
Yeah, but it's still not the same. I can just do it. I don't need to know.
Pressing an X is pressing an X.
Shortcuts. Blender is 2 keyboard shortcut.
Pressing Z is pressing Z.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it in ZBrush.
Most of the stuff that I use in Blender is the Shift key, and they have one of those on both sides of the keyboard.
Yeah. You don't get it. It's not the same, dude. Sorry, it just ain't.
It has nothing to do with which hand it is.
It does.
No. Because in going into the user preferences, you change which button on the mouse does what. You set all that up however you want. You can tell it whichever. You can go into the hotkeys and change all the hotkeys to be hotkeys on whichever.
Push the left button, and you push the left button, which is now your right button.
It doesn't. It never says press the left button. There's an action button and the other button.
Believe me, it's more. Blender is the most confusing program I've ever used ever. It's the hardest thing to get anything done with. I just can't do it. And I've been using this crap since the beginning of time. I've been playing with 3D back when, oh God, I used to use Maya.
My first 3D program was Poser 1.
Back in the early days.
Yeah, my first 3D program was Poser 1.
Poser 1. Well, that's why you never learned all the other.
I've learned 3D Studio Max. That's what I got my education in college for.
Poser now. Poser's on like 20 or something, isn't it?
I don't know. I've used 3D Studio Max. I've used Maya. I've used Mudbox.
Can't use Mudbox. Actually, I can now.
I've used Sculptress, which is the stripped down version of ZBrush.
Sculptress. I wish I could get it back. Can't use it no.
There's a great web-based sculpting program that's actually really good.
Yeah, I've seen that. I only played with it briefly.
What is it?
Sculpt 3D or something like that. Sculpt. I don't know. I have seen that. Because you can actually, that's another one you can do on the iPads and the tablets.
God, what was it called? It's a web-based sculpting program.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
It all works in your browser, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It is pretty good. It's very much.
I got in it and sculpted a head one day, just playing with it.
Now I gotta remember. Now it's irritating me. I gotta remember what it is. Web-based sculpting.
Browser sculpting.
Yeah, same here, Andrew.
Sculpt GL.
What just crap.
Yeah, Sculpt GL. Yeah, yeah. I played with that briefly. It's not bad. It gets laggy when you not SketchUp. Oh my God, SketchUp is the freaking worst.
Yeah, no, Sculpt GL is actually a pretty good sculpting program.
I did learn SketchUp before I started using Fusion, and oh my God, was I glad to get rid of SketchUp when I went to Fusion. Everyone's like, oh, SketchUp is great. It's easier. It's like, no, it's not. You can't do a proper fillet in SketchUp. You export it out to an STL, and almost every freaking slicer in the world go error because it had like every face reversed or some crap. God. Yeah. SketchUp's great for architecture. The few architectural things, I'd probably still use SketchUp for architecture, but and it got worse as soon as Google. I can't believe I'm saying that, but Google actually made SketchUp better. When they went back to a private company, it got worse again. I don't know why Google sold SketchUp, probably because it sucked. Daz
Yeah.
3D. I hate Daz 3D. The Daz 3D poser thing. You're using that too, right, Danner?
What's
The
that?
Daz 3D body builder poser.
Yeah, Daz 3D. That's
Yeah.
so. There's another 3D.
Yeah,
suite I use.
it's not really a sculpting though. That's just a bodybuilder.
Yeah, and then they've got their own 3D sculpting or 3D program with
Yeah.
what's it called?
Carrera.
Hexagon.
Hexagon's kind of out of there, but Carrera absorbed Hexagon. Hexagon's
Look,
inside Carrera.
No, Hexagon is made by the Daz Studio people.
Yeah, I know. I have Hexagon. I had Hexagon before.
I'm looking at the shortcut on my desktop right now.
If you go to Daz 3D and get Carrera. Carrera's way better. Actually, I shouldn't say way better. Hexagon's got some more. I don't know how to describe it. Hexagon and Carrera got developed side by side by the same company originally. It wasn't Daz 3D. Daz 3D bought them up. Carrera was,
but they recommend for making assets. They recommend for making your own assets for Daz Studio to do so in Hexagon.
They should
because
be
apparently Hexagon and Daz Studio.
Yeah, well, so did Carrera. All three
link up with each other.
Daz Studio bought them all out. They used to be Ray Dream Designer, and then Meta Creations bought them from Ray Dream, and then Ray Dream got bought out, or Meta Creations got bought out by Evio. Dude, I was in back when all that started. We used to use Sketcher, which was a pencil-based, because they were all owned by Fractal Design, because they came up. Fractal Design owned Poser, Painter, Carrera, Hexagon, all of those. And then Fractal Design split off and kept Painter and pretty much sold everything else off. And actually, I don't even think they own Painter anymore. I think they got bought out, moved, changed over. But Painter was Sketcher. It was black and white originally. It wasn't even it was like an actual pencil sketching app first. Because I got Painter when it first came out as Painter in a paint can. You bought it and you got like 25 freaking floppy disks in a freaking paint can.
3D character design.
Remember those times where you put the disc in, insert the next disc, insert the next disc? Like 4 hours later, you had like 5 megabytes of crap loaded.
Adobe has a
I don't miss those
3D character design platform, but they're phasing it out. Adobe Fuse.
Yeah.
Which I've got it here. I've got Make Human.
Yep.
Which Make Human is great because it's completely royalty free.
Oh, yeah. Never seen that one.
So if you use Make Human to make a base mesh for a human to start your base sculpt with, you can do so completely royalty free.
That's nice.
Well,
that will allow you to do that on your own too, but it's kind of
like Daz Studio, you cannot ever use it for commercial use.
Well, you
without paying for their commercial license, which is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Like Make Human is free. Make Human is free, and you can use the base meshes that you get from it in Blender for a game or for animation or whatever you want. And if you profit from it, you owe Make Human nothing.
Daz bought Carrera, Hexagon, and what's called Daz Studio now, because Daz, the original Daz, is a content creator add-on seller. That's what they do. They sell the add-ons. Like me or you, like if you built a poser figure, that's what they started as, was a poser add-on. And you designed something that was, an alternate to a poser figure. You got Victoria, whatever version it happened to be, and you made a new face. You could sell it on Daz. Make $5 or whatever, and everyone buy your version of Victoria.
Right. It's kind of like
so people could keep doing that and keep bringing them back. They make more money selling alternates to bodies than anything else.
Right. It's kind of like going to you can go to Turbo Squid and get 3D models for stuff. Rather than sit down and make your own, like you're making a game and you need a pickup truck, you can go to Turbo Squid, do a search for pickup truck, and someone can have a pickup truck that suits the game model you need perfectly. You pay $130, download it, and save yourself 2 days of modeling.
Turbo Squid's more professionally kind of high-end stuff.
And then like Blender Market for getting Blender assets and add-ons.
Yeah, Daz does all of that, or did. Because it's Daz and Radiosity used to be the two big hobbyist content purchase. Where you buy add-ons and mini models and, basically you made a diorama out of all the content you purchased or got. And then you only had to model one or two small items. I've been doing this since like the 80s, dude. Kind of got out of it. That's actually what I went to college for. That's what I wanted to do when I went to college. Kind of got sidetracked, and they really didn't push it back then.
Yeah, what I went to school for was I got my associates in computer programming and my bachelor's in digital entertainment and game design.
Cool. Start building websites again, dumbass. Oh wait, that's freaking boring.
And the degrees aren't worth the paper they're printed on.
Nope, they're not. Not
valedictorian in my class both times. Didn't give me a job.
I mean, you could still get pretty much a job anywhere doing web design, though, if you had to.
Yeah.
So one thing. Once you start doing that, you kind of get looped into it.
Ended up as a freaking PHP developer.
Yeah.
But that's because if you can code in one language, you can code in any language.
Yeah.
Logic doesn't change, only the syntax.
Yep.
So all you got to do to learn a new programming language, once you know one, is to learn the differences in syntax. Because the logic of writing a program doesn't change.
And I can't figure out none of them. I kept trying, and I can usually dabble in them. If I sit down and play with it for a couple of months, I could usually dabble in it. But I learned some HTML and some HTML5 I started doing because I hate Flash. I don't even have Flash installed on my computer anymore. Hate it. There's no need for it. HTML5 does anything that Flash will do, and better with less resources.
Yeah, for sure.
And yet everyone's still using Flash. I hate Flash. It's such a hog. The minute I install Flash, it drags my computer down to nothing. It just slows everything down.
Yeah, it's slow.
I pretty much de-Adobe'd myself completely. Now that I got Affinity Designer, Infinity Draw, and all of those, I don't need anything Adobe. But the only thing Adobe I still use is PDF reader.
Yeah, I still use Photoshop, but I'll probably look more at Affinity Designer.
Affinity Designer and Affinity Draw, or whatever they call it. What do they call it? Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. I like it better. For one, Affinity Draw, it's not quite as powerful in the sense of all of the stupid features that Photoshop is, but most people don't need those. And if they do, they should stay with Photoshop, because then you're being professional. But if you're doing drawing, sketching, and photo editing, Affinity is so much cheaper. It's $35 lifetime.
Yeah,
I had it since the beginning of freaking time. They update it. They give it to you. The one time they've charged me is they had a major upgrade to Draw, and they didn't even charge me. They said, if you give us $35, you get this, this, and this, and this. I was like, okay, I'll give you $35. So the whole thing, I've spent like $120 on it in 6 years.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Other than that, the last Photoshop I got was CS3. Put it that way.
Yeah, I used to have a subscription to it, but I don't now.
Yeah, when they went to subscription, they went CS4 was subscription based. I was like, nope, I am not freaking having mortgageware. I hate mortgageware.
Yeah, I want to buy a piece of software and actually buy the software.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then whether I'm
Oh, it's
connected
hard.
to the internet or not,
Yep.
whether it's 10 years later, as long as the computer will run it, be able to
Yep.
use it.
Even if it's not updated, I can still access my files. Anything Photoshop I have, I can't access anymore unless I import it into something else. Or
Which is why I need to sit down and learn GIMP.
Yeah, I
GIMP
find
is
the
the
UI.
open source.
and actually, Tom, what right now is a great time to buy Affinity because they have like a 15 or 20% off because of the pandemic. So it's only like $25 for the freaking apps. They're
That's
ridiculously cheap. Which I don't know what that is in Viking.
About
Gold
250 Norwegian.
What the hell is your money?
What?
What do you guys use for money? You use euros too, right? But
No, we don't have that.
oh, you're not part of the EU, are you?
Nope. Sadly
No, I
enough,
forgot
we're not a part of Europe. Yeah, we are, but not the EU. We use Norwegian crowns or kroner.
Yeah, it's 35 Canadian. Actually, I think it's 35 US too. And I bought them both when they first came out. They timed it perfectly because Adobe went to Mortgageware literally like a month after Affinity came out. And Affinity was, when I first got it, it was kind of out there, kind of cheapy. But oh my God, they made it better in like the first year. They got a big influx of cash the minute Adobe went to Mortgageware. Adobe lost so much money when they went to Mortgageware.
Yeah.
So one thing I like about ZBrush, ZBrush went to Mortgageware, but they also have the option of just outright buying it. You can do either or. Make your choice. I like that because, like, if I wanted, I have ZBrush Core. I bought it outright. But if I want to get ZBrush, I can do the Mortgageware for a couple of months and decide if I really want to spend, $800 on this app.
Right. The great aspect the great aspect of taking your application cloud-based is people can just jump in for a month, try it.
Yeah.
And then if they decide it's not for them, discontinue it.
There's too many
And
people
the
with
other
crappy
thing
internet.
about it is if you do it for a living, if it's your business, you pay a monthly fee and you just calculate that into your business expenses, and you always have the most up-to-date version moving forward.
Which sometimes the most broken version.
But
yeah, no, I'm not
but
big on the
companies lost something when they lost the ability to just purchase it and be done with it.
Yep. They're like, oh, we need the constant influx of cash. Oh, we need a constant influx of, reason to purchase this. Otherwise, their upgradability, their feature set has definitely declined since they went to Mortgageware because they don't need to innovate anymore.
But I also understand from Adobe's point of view that Adobe knows now what their monthly income is. They don't have to go, well, our sales were down this quarter.
Yeah, but
they know how many people are subscribing to their cloud-based service and what their monthly income is.
They don't have to innovate anymore because they have a monthly income that they don't have to go, okay, everybody's already bought it. We got to come out with something new or we're going to be out of money.
Right.
They don't have that drive anymore that they used to have. They're
so which Affinity program kind of replaces the design aspect of Photoshop? Is it Affinity Design?
Affinity Design is Illustrator. Affinity Photo is Photoshop.
But Affinity Design can work with both vector and raster based.
Yeah, but you can't really draw with it. It's just like Illustrator. You can't really paint with it. It's all line based. It's not pixel based. Photoshop and Affinity Photo are pixel based. You draw a line, it makes pixels. Illustrator and design, you put 2 points down and it connects the 2 points like CAD does. That makes sense?
Right. Well, I'm on Affinity's website right now, so I was looking.
Yeah.
With a single click, switch between full-featured vector and raster workspaces.
Yeah. You can do
Add
raster.
raster brush texture to your illustration. Edit single pixels and icons. Mask and add grain to your crisp vectors.
Here's an easier way to put it. Design will do raster, but it's more cartoon. Affinity Photo is painting. It's Photoshop. It's photo editing. It's individual pixel manipulation. Where designer does more illustration style.
And then publisher is for like layouts, like if you were working on like a magazine or a billboard or
pamphlets, business cards. Unless you're doing that kind of crap, don't bother with that. I don't even own that. I beta tested it for them, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give it to you for $15 for beta testing it for us." I'm like, pretty much anything I can do that I can do in Designer for a little bit. If I was published, doing publications, I would use that. But the 1 or 2 things I can do it in Designer just as easy as I can do it in that.
So yeah, Affinity Photo is $24.99 US right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I would buy both photo.
Designer and Photo should be the same price. I would get them both in a freaking heartbeat. I use them both.
Yeah, I would buy both now if I had the money, but I don't have the money until maybe the 19th.
And actually, I think they give you another 5% off if you buy them both at the same time, don't they? Maybe not with the deal off. I know they were doing it, but they might not be with the percent off already with the pandemic-y.
Yeah, it looks like they're $24.99 each.
Yeah.
269 Norwegian crowns.
Because is that with the pandemic off thing? It's got to be $35.
Yeah, their regular price is $49.99, but they got a line slash through it and buy now for $24.
Half price for the pandemic. That goes away at the end of the month. You got one more month for that.
Okay, so I have time. I will buy it when I get the money again.
Yeah,
and then they've got add-ons you can buy for things like twisted
lenses.
Brushes.
Yeah,
there's a brush pack.
And you can get a boatload of them for free too.
Overlays, a comic toolbox, which looks kind of cool.
Yep. A lot of your Photoshop plugins will work, like brush plugins and alternates will pop right into it. So if you bought any brush plugins for your Photoshop, I found about 75% of them work with Affinity Photo. If you want to do actions and stuff, I would get Affinity Draw. If you want to do painting and photo manipulation, get Affinity Photo.
I will buy both.
I have both. Affinity Draw is much faster, snappier, uses less resources because, again, it doesn't draw individual pixels. It draws point A, point B, draw a line in between. Yeah. So it uses less resources.
I don't worry about the resources.
Affinity Photos is more laggy for me if I open a big, 4,000 4,000 pixel HD image. I'll start getting lag if I start drawing with the tablet.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a problem for me.
Draw never lags for me. I've never gotten Affinity Designer to lag. Then I don't often manipulate imagery in it.
No.
Nope, they're 100%. They're out of Europe somewhere. I think they're Welsh. For some reason, I can remember those guys being Welsh.
Yeah. Let's see.
They come on and they do a couple times a year. They do their updates and they do their little update YouTube thing, and they definitely have a Welsh or a freaking Scottish or something accent.
Yeah, not Nottingham in the UK, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. UK.
Yeah, the auto trace is pissing me off because they asked like a year ago if they should add it, and everyone's like, "Oh no, that's just cheating." And I was like, "You freaking not for everyone. Some people need to cheat. A $35 app is not just professionals. That's hobbyists too, and we want the trace." But too many freaking stuck up idiots were like, "Yeah, that's cheating. Don't trace it." They literally asked. They had a thing. I remember that clear as day because I was pissed when it was like 80% said, "No, that's cheating." It's like, frick you, it's cheating. Suck my hairy balls. I want auto trace. Yeah, it is missing. I will give you that. There's programs that you can do it on the internet, though. I've done it on. Just go on auto trace. And actually, you can auto trace by just bringing it in as an SVG and then export it as an SVG and then import it back into thing, and it basically auto traces it by you doing it that way. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, it is a major missing feature.
Yeah.
Huh.
I love these people that say, "Oh, that's cheating. We shouldn't have that feature." It's like, just because you don't want to use it doesn't mean I don't.
True.
That's probably the same response I would get from the fact that the base mesh for my action figure came from Make Human. But I'm like, the hard work is in cutting in all the joints and just modeling a basic human shape. Why bother doing that when I can bring it in from Make Human in a matter of minutes versus spending all day modeling one myself just to cut it apart?
Because it's more fun making it your damn self, lazy bastard.
No. I'd rather get onto the functional part of it.
Yeah, I know. Hell, I can remember when Poser was a stick figure. The original Poser was a stick figure. Woody. His name was Woody.
Yeah, Poser
Woody.
Way back when Poser was a stack of floppy disks.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I think I still have the floppy disks out in the garage.
And if I remember right, I had it on 5 1/4.
Well, I got everything. Mine are all 3 1/2. Anything 5 1/4, I got rid of because I haven't had a 5 1/4 reader since the Apple IIs.
My first computer, all it had on it when I got it was a 5 1/4.
Yeah, mine was too.
My first computer had tapes.
And then my aunt,
reel to reel.
My aunt had replaced the 3 1/2 with a drive, and hers with one of the double density 3 1/2s. So she gave me her old 3 1/2, and I put it in my computer.
I'm pretty sure I've still got like I'm pretty sure there's still an Apple II up in the attic. I might have gotten rid of it, and I'm almost positive the Mac 605 is still up there.
Cool.
I would love to get that Mac 605 running again. Not that you could use it with anything, but I remember I would fire it up, and I used to be so happy that I could turn it on, go downstairs, make a cup of coffee, and come back up, and it would be running by the time I came back up for my coffee.
Yeah,
because Apple II wouldn't.
And now you're pissed if your computer takes longer than 15 seconds to boot up from off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Just putting the SSD drive in this thing, like quarters of startup time of it.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot.
And I've got one of those. I don't know why they stopped making them. I got one of those hybrid drives. It's a 1 gig drive, but it's 500 SSD, 500 spin disk.
Yeah,
and it is freaking awesome.
My OS runs on an NVMe.
Yeah, mine too.
And
yeah,
on the main computer. No, I also have that in the server. Yeah.
It looks like a regular, 3.5, 3 1/4, hard disk, whatever size it is, but it's half SSD. 500. There's 500 gigabytes of SSD in it.
Yeah.
So and it uses the SSD first, so the whole operating system when you load it is all on SSD.
Yeah, I have all SSDs in
Yeah, I
the
do
main
miss some of
computer.
the sounds the old stuff made.
Oh God.
There was just something kind of pure about it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't miss dial-up modem sounds.
No, I do not miss the dial-up modem sounds. Those were irritating.
Yeah.
Or when your mom or dad would pick up the telephone when you were on the modem
Yeah.
and you get booted off the BBS. You get booted off the BBS right as you were getting ready to take on a boss in a mud you were playing. You're like, I just walked into the boss's room and all of a sudden I get disconnected. Why did I get disconnected? My mom picked up the phone. So then you finally you get to call the BBS back and sign back in and your character's in the halls of the dead and the way those muds used to work, you dropped all of your equipment on the floor when you died.
I just got a second phone line back then.
So then you had to run back to the spot you died and pray somebody else hadn't showed up and taken all your stuff.
Yep.
And you'd walk in and I used to play Major Mud, and there was every class had their quest item, and I played a bard, of course. And the bard quester was the bard quester was about the only quester that you never got a better piece of equipment to replace it. One didn't exist in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Because the quester slot on your character, there was only one. If you didn't have the quester, you didn't have anything equipped in that slot, that was worth having, basically. And the bard quester was the only one that you never got a better piece of equipment to put in that slot, ever. And so I was a bard, and on my BBS, I had the quester. And so, and I used to script. I had written scripts that would play the game for me while I slept and stuff. And so I also had to write into my script to attack people who would try to attack me.
Yeah.
And then there were things in it where I would stun them and run if things started getting ugly. Because I was a major target. Everybody who had a bard wanted to take the quest item away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jeweled main gouge.
So
that was the bard quest item.
My oldest brother, who's like, God, how old is he now? Let's see, he's got to be 64, 65 now. He used to be a Mac person and kind of went to the PC and was like anti-Mac and anti-iPhones and anti-everything Apple. Not anti, just got tired of the whole Apple being locked down so much. So he wanted a Kindle. I'm like, I don't have a Kindle, but Pops was. I bought my father a new iPad just before he passed. Not new, but 2-year-old. Anyway, he's like, I'm like, just try it. Can't hurt. Freaking texted me yesterday and goes, "This thing's freaking awesome." He goes, "I like this better than my Android phone. It's just easier." It's like I had some, a week of trials and tribulations of getting used to, because he's got Android. They're so close, though. I mean, anyone that uses both, once you get used to one or the other, they're so similar. I've used Android. There's nothing with it, but he loves that stupid iPad now. He's like, I don't even turn my computer on anymore. I do everything on the iPad. It's like a week of that, and he's like, surfing the web and getting emails and that kind of crap. This is all on the pad now. I want to get an Apple Pro.
Yeah, I've never had an Android phone. We've had Android tablets, and then
tablets.
We use iPhones, and I've got an iPad, but we've had Android tablets, and they weren't bad. But the big disparity that I see between Android and Apple is like not every app out there is available for both, and the apps that are the apps like games, for instance, that are exclusive to the Apple family are better than the games that are exclusive to the Android family.
Yeah, I find it's kind of the other way around, but I don't really like the games on either one of them. But I tried. Have you done Apple Play? Their stupid game service. I
No.
shut that off after 2 days. That's only good for like under 12. It's all like kiddie games. They're all garbage.
No. I've never, I've browsed through the games that they have on there and haven't seen one that made me go, yeah, I'd pay for that.
No, they had a free giveaway for like a week there, like a month or two when the pandemic first started. They're like, oh, try it for a week for free. And so I tried it. There's like 100 games. That's it, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And they're all like garbage. The only thing I actually liked, and I almost kept it for, is they have like and it's not Mario Kart, but they have like a Mario Kart style game that was actually really good. It was fun.
I do pay for Apple Music, but it's a tax write-off for me.
Yeah.
Because I use it whenever a new song comes out and I need to listen to it repeatedly to learn it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is a business expense for me.
Yeah, but still, write-offs aren't that much.
$10 a month, so $120 a year.
Yeah, but how much does that take off your taxes? People you don't write off $120. You get to take it off your total taxes. It doesn't subtract money off
amongst the many other things I have to itemize, like my mileage and my parking and my stage clothes. And
for your $120 you're spending a year, you're getting like $5 off your taxes.
but I always get a return. So
no, I know. But my point is, I used to have this friend that she owned a girl down in Florida. She owned mortgage companies and did all this stuff. And she goes, "Oh, I'm always leasing cars because I can write it off." I said, "You dumbass, do you realize you're spending all that money for 3 years? Then you end up," because she's way over mileage because she does real estate and mortgages and all that. So she's driving all over. So she always ends up having to give them money to give them back their damn car after 3 years. I'm like, if you buy it, you get to write it off one time. But it's a very large write-off. It's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, which saves you, $1,000 or $2,000 off of your actual taxes. And you own the damn car. So when you're done with the car, you sell the car and you make some of that money back. Tax write-offs are not, I'm like, we did the math. They said your tax write-off every year ends up being like $1,000.
And I write off all my rental cars.
You're spending,
I get lots of rental cars throughout the year.
$20,000 to write off $1,000. It makes no sense. She's like, well, but then I can only write it off once. Yeah, but it's a big chunk. And then when you're all done with the car in 3 years, because you still, doing her kind of traveling, you don't want to keep it more than 3 or 4 years. Because for one, you got high mileage, and two, it absolutely has to be reliable for that kind of business. So
like every time we have
3 years and trade and get a new one, you get money back. You spent 40, 50 grand on a car, you get 30 or 40 of it back.
Like every time we have
and hand them more.
Every time we have a road gig, I'll rent one of those full-size vans.
Yeah.
For the road gig. Because it doesn't make sense for me to own one because I only do 3 or 4 road gigs a year.
Yeah. See,
why would I go out and spend $30,000 on a van that I'm going to use 3 or 4 times a year?
No, again, that's fine. But like the one time I found leasing was beneficial, like my big corporate company I used to do building for, all the supervisors got vehicles. We went to Enterprise and we got Enterprise, whatever they call it, cargo deal or whatever. But the thing is not only do you lease the van for 3 years or the truck or whatever they got, it includes service, roadside service, gas cards, everything.
If anything at all breaks down on it, you just call them.
Yeah,
and they
you call them. You don't call AAA or anything, and they are there within like a half an hour. They guarantee
you. Shows up, picks it up, they drop you off at Enterprise, they put you in another one, and you drive off.
Yeah, no, they don't even do that. They come to you with another one if they don't think they can fix it and tow it away. And like your tools and stuff, they move it into the new one if you needed it. Yeah. They service the crap out of you. I can't tell you how many sets of tires being on a construction site. You get a nail in a tire. Well, in New York, they're only allowed to patch the tire 3 times. If they have to put more than 3 plugs in the tire, you have to take it off.
Yeah.
There's a catch. I had an all-wheel drive van. You can't change one tire in an all-wheel drive vehicle. You have to change all four. Otherwise, it won't match. You'll twist the torque converter or whatever. You end up screwing up because the wear has to be even. So, like, literally every 2 months, I was getting a brand new set of tires because I'd have at least 3 or 4 nail punctures in it.
That's the way that Bugatti Veyron is. They have to replace all 4 tires at the same time.
Yeah.
And the tires,
you're supposed to replace.
And the tires only last on the Bugatti Veyron like 3,000 miles.
Yeah, but it's Bugatti. If you got to worry about the price of the tires and
Bugatti, a set of tires,
you can't afford a Bugatti.
So every 3,000 miles you put on a Bugatti Veyron, you're spending $50,000 putting a new set of tires on it.
It's just like if you got to worry about the service on the, on any like any supercar, if you got to worry about the service of a Ferrari,
you can't afford a supercar.
No.
Yeah, my Ferrari needs. I'm not going to get a Ferrari. They need to be serviced every 6 months. Then don't buy a Ferrari because you're a dumbass. Because any supercar needs to be serviced every 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just the whole thing of them.
Well, that's why if you're interested in something like that, but you want a more normal maintenance schedule and more normal maintenance prices, buy a C8 Corvette.
Yeah, or the Audi.
The new mid-engine Corvette.
It's really nice.
The new mid-engine Corvette is comparable to any Ferrari or Lamborghini out there at 1/10 of the price.
Yeah,
I sat in one.
It looks great too.
They do look good, but they feel kind of chintzy. They really do. I was in one not too long ago. A friend of mine bought one. Don't get me wrong. They are freaking nice. They just feel.
All GM products, the interior is the cheapest, crappiest plastic, and that includes the Corvette.
I will say, I actually like the Camaro interior sit quality feel of a Camaro over the new Mustangs. And I like them both. If somebody handed me one or the other, I would have no problem with either one. I like both the Mustang and the new Camaro. I kind of like the look of the new Camaro better a little bit, but there's no. If someone says you can have either one, I'd probably take the Camaro over the Mustang, but I would take either one of them. But
in 2015, when we bought our Honda Fit, we were looking for an economic hatchback. We were interested in the Chevy Sonic, and that's where we started. And then the dealership kind of dicked us around, and we ended up going over to look at the Ford Focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was more expensive than the Sonic.
Yeah. Could have been.
Considerably more expensive than the Sonic. But we test drove them, and all of them felt really cheap. Like when you would pull the door closed, there was flex in the door panel.
Yeah.
Like you could feel the door panel flexing in towards you when you'd pull on it.
That's not good.
And so we ended up across the street at the Honda dealer, and I just assumed we couldn't afford one because, usually I buy cars cash outright is how I usually buy cars. And usually I'm looking for a car that's less than 10 years old and less than 100,000 miles for less than $5,000. And usually Hondas never fall into those categories. If it's, that age, that mileage, it's more than $5,000. So I just assumed Hondas were more expensive and had never looked at them new. Walked across the street and looked at it, and it was the same price as the flipping Chevy Sonic. It just didn't lose its money as fast.
That's it. Hondas don't lose their money. You do Toyotas.
Took it for a test drive, and when you would close the door handle didn't flex at all. The door panel didn't flex at all. You'd feel around on the buttons on all the things on the dash and stuff, and they were all solid. None of them, you couldn't pull any of them off in your hand. None of them flexed or bent when you twisted or torqued on them.
That thing was so popular, too. You're talking about the big square Pilot, right? Is that what it is?
The Honda Fit. Fit, their little one.
Yeah.
The one that's smaller than the Civic.
Yep. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So base price, they start at like $15,000 and they go up to about 20 if you buy one fully optioned out.
Yeah. And they're nicer.
But
all around
super nice little car.
Yeah. They're just
solid built. And we traded ours in with It was 3 years old. Well, not even 3, 2.5 years old with 132,000 miles on it.
Yep.
And not one thing had started to rust anywhere. Not one piece of fabric had tore. Not one door panel clip or anything had popped off.
I used to like the Mitsubishis too. They made some nice cars back in the day. I hadn't looked at one in a long time, but
just a solid, well-built car. And after that, and then that's when we bought our Honda Pilot whenever our Dodge Durango got totaled, because we needed something that would do the job the Durango did. And we had already bought the Fit at that point and loved it. And so when the Durango got totaled, I was like, does Honda make anything that'll do what the Durango did? Yeah, they do. So we bought a 2005 Honda Pilot for $5,000 cash outright. That now has over 250,000 miles on it. And we have never, ever had it in the shop for anything other than oil changes and stuff. Now it is time for me to do the timing belt service on it, which the timing belt service is like $1,300.
Yeah, it might not be worth it. If you got 250,000+ miles on it,
right? Well, and I'm thinking
at $1,500 and putting it into a new vehicle,
right? And I'm thinking I use that and the $1,500 that I would use to put the timing belt on it and trade it in, down payment and trade in and towards another Pilot, a newer Pilot with less miles.
They discontinued those. They only came out. They were only out for like what? 8 years?
The Pilot's still being made today.
No, isn't Pilot the square SUV thing?
They're full-size SUV. They started making them in 2003 and still make them today.
There's one of them, the real fancy that's you always seem like bright orange. They discontinued. A friend of mine's got one. Pretty sure it was a Pilot. Everyone was like, "Why did they discontinue it?" It's like one of their more popular vehicles.
Mm-hmm. No, because we went and looked at 2020 Pilots just a couple months before the pandemic hit. But the Pilot brand new is
used, but not
the Pilot brand new is about $40,000.
Yeah, no, it's not the Pilot.
Passport?
No, neither of
They
those.
just brought the Passport back in 2020. The Passport was gone.
It was the really square one with the weird. It always had like one side window was a different shape than the other side. It was very square, blocky.
You think about the Honda Element?
There you go.
They had the doors you could open on both sides and make it completely pass through.
It was like a box with a freaking trunk and hood.
That was the Element. It was a smaller SUV.
Yeah. It's freaking roomy, though.
Right.
They put 4 mountain bikes in that and 4 people without a problem.
They discontinued those because they weren't that structurally rigid.
I don't know. Everyone
Partly because there was no B-pillar in them.
Loved it. I've been in a couple. They ride nice.
They just don't survive accidents.
It's got more space, but you can't use any of it because it's so weird and round. You can't get anything in it. Doesn't have proper storage space. I almost want to go out my garage and see if I can find my floppy disks now. Go up in my attic and see what computers are up in the attic that are just rotting away up there. I know I got rid of a lot of that stuff a few years ago because the town has the free pickup, junk day.
Yeah.
You pretty much put anything down at the end of the road with very few limitations, and they'll come with a big dump truck and pick it up.
But yeah, we've been really happy with our Pilot. It gets better gas mileage than the Durango did. It'll tow the trailer just as easily as the Durango did, and seat just as many people, and has done it way more reliably.
I have not been a big Dodge fan since the mid '60s.
I had to put new ball joints on the Durango every year.
Yep.
Every year, I was out in my garage with that stupid fork, banging on it with a hammer to separate the ball joints out.
both my brother and my father bought Jeeps when Dodge took, like 2 years after Dodge took them over. My father got the pickup truck. I can't even remember the name of it. And then my brother got the SUV. Oh, what pieces of junk they were.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just constant problems. All the time something was breaking on both of them.
They're built pretty well to last until their warranty runs out.
Yep. And they ride like crap. They're all
right. They're built to last till the warranty's gone, and then they're intended to fall apart so that you'll come buy another one.
They were just obnoxious. Trannies, both of them blew their trannies. And my father, one was a standard and one was an automatic. Both of them blew them at least once. I think the truckie ended up getting 2 trannies in. One of them was still on warranty.
I've had 2 different friends that had to sue Dodge to buy back cars they bought from them.
Yeah. I just haven't. I mean, even the new ones, I love the look of like the Challengers and the Chargers. And they're just the crappiest pieces of freaking. They're like driving a freaking forklift down the road.
The Challenger is one of the sweetest looking cars on the road, period. But I can't tell you how many times I'm driving down the highway and I see a Challenger sitting on the shoulder of the road with an orange or green sticker on it that it's going to be towed away.
Oh, they're rough and the seats are hard and they're just miserable to drive.
I see it all the time, which, I mean, I know people that buy those kind of cars beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you beat the hell out of it, you beat the hell out of it. You got to expect it to break.
But it doesn't take the abuse.
Cruiser, I always like the look of that old PT Cruiser. I just think that thing looks cool. But it was a piece of junk to drive. I mean, it was like
there were in the PT Cruiser there were plastic mechanical parts in the valve train. Plastic mechanical parts in a car engine.
Yep.
That should never happen. As big a fan as we are of plastic, we all know we love our plastic.
Yeah, we do.
None of us believe that moving mechanical parts in a car engine should be made from it.
No. Yeah, not most of them.
Especially something like your valve train, where your valves are opening and closing.
Yeah.
Because then that plastic wears or stretches, and that valve stays open a fraction of a second too long and contacts the piston.
Not good.
Done. Engine done.
Yeah. We need a new one.
I wouldn't rely on something like that to be plastic.
Me neither. No. It's not meant for that use. Simply.
Nope. Plastic is great for many things.
Yeah.
Internal working parts of a combustion engine are not it.
Nope.
Yeah, I just don't. And they're still around. Pontiac's gone. And I think Pontiac used to make some decent cars.
Well, what makes me mad is that GM chose Buick over Pontiac.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you had to get rid of one, why did you keep? You already had the old man car in the Cadillac. Why'd you keep another old man car in the Buick?
I almost bought one of these. Like, I was signing the paper on one of these.
Solstice.
Right here.
Yep.
I love that car.
Which that car is also the Saturn.
Saturn Sky.
Sky.
I like the look better. I didn't like the look in the Saturn Sky. I like the
Sky better.
See, I like this way better. I like
How does the Sky look?
Looks more like a '60s Sportster than the Sky looked more like the '70s, and this looks more '60s. Really, the Saturn Sky was just pointier. I like the rounded nose better. Sticker mule.
Saturn Sky red line.
Yeah.
You want the red line version?
It's just
because the red line version had the good engine, the high performance engine.
The Pontiac had the better engine. Well, they had the same engine.
They had the same engines.
I think I prefer the Saturn Sky.
Either one of you get the V6 in. I almost bought one of the. I love that Pontiac. I loved it. The day I saw that when they first came out, I loved it. They were special order. They had like a 6-month waiting list. I was literally in the dealer. I was out on Long Island. When I was still working. I was making boatloads of money. And I was literally getting ready to sign. I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? It's a toy, but I already have a vehicle. I got a van. It's what I drive. I drive it everywhere. If I get this thing, then like when I go back and forth or I move a job, now I'm going to have to move my van and then find a way back to get my car and go back. It's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like a first-year vehicle.
Hard tops for them.
Yeah, that's what really turned me off is it was a first-year vehicle. And the more I thought about it, it's like you never want to buy a first-year vehicle because that's when they start. So I was like, all right, I'll wait a couple of years. Of course, then Pontiac went under.
That's just like the the Fiero. It had all of its problems in the first year. Yeah, by 1988, they had it right, man. That car was right.
If a new model of car comes out, your best wait is 3 years. If it's still around by the third year, they've usually ironed out all the issues.
The prototype for the 1990 Fiero was the guys over in the Corvette division actually are the reason it got killed.
Yeah.
Well, the next Fiero was going to blow the doors off of the Corvette at a fraction of the price.
I wanted an Opel.
Because the next generation of Fiero had a twin dual overhead cam 3.4 liter V6 in it that put out 240 horse.
I still take an Opel.
And the Corvette of the same year was a 5.7 liter V8, but it only put out 220 horses.
Yeah.
The Corvette was 800 pounds heavier with 25 fewer horsepower.
Do you ever see the Opel?
The torque.
Yeah.
I love the Opels.
So the Fiero was going to blow its doors off, and the guys over in the Corvette division knew that.
Yeah.
And it was going to be a fraction of the price. So they went to the head honchos and bean counters at GM and said, do you really want to kill the Corvette for this thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
A vehicle with a proud history dating back to the 1950s. Do you want it to go away?
The current Corvette pretty much is a Fiero. When you think about it.
Right.
It's based on the same chassis style.
Mid-engine. Well, same
style. Not chassis.
Yeah. Right.
Chassis style.
Yeah. Because the engine's midship.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious when you compare the new Corvette to Ford's mid-engine sports supercar, the Ford GT. And pound for pound and dollar for dollar, how much better value the Corvette is?
Yeah, I think it looks better too.
I kind of like the GT look better.
Yeah,
I do like the
I like
the
GT back in the '60s when it first came out. So
yeah, I love those. I do, but didn't use
it was light years ahead of its time back in the '60s when they put the original Ford GT40 out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd take any of them, but I probably wouldn't keep any of them because I'm too old and practical now.
But a Ford GT is $450,000.
Yeah. Way too expensive.
A Corvette is $75,000.
Yeah.
I thought it was about 60 or 70. But the vet is also equipped at 70,000. It's to get a properly equipped vet, it's $100,000. Yeah, you need to get all the shit.
The Z51 package Stingray is $75,000.
I wonder if it's available in Norway. C8.
Yeah, I do like the looks of the Ford GT a lot, but not $450,000 versus $75,000 a lot.
There's an original Ford GT, one of the 4 originals that used to race like 2 miles down the road from here. The guy who remember A Copy, the company A Copy was the first original copy company, copier company. The guy who owned A Copy lives right down the road here, and he has got a whole car collection. He has an original Ford GT. He also has an original Ford Cobra like real Ford, one of the first like 100 ever made.
Yeah, so the
Got a couple
2020 the 2020 C8 Corvette starts at $59,995 after destination. Aim for the top trim and expect to drop around 72,000.
It's still
So 72,000 is the top trim.
See, I thought they
C8
started
Corvette.
about 75.
Now that's not going to include dealer markup, and that's just a dealer being a greedy ass.
Yeah. Anyway,
So dealers will mark them up to 100,000 and pocket an extra 30 grand, which should be criminal.
yeah, I think
That's a lot.
you know what pisses me off is you can't buy like a Tesla here in Connecticut because it's against the law to do direct car sales.
Really?
Yeah. You have to have a dealer in Connecticut to sell a car in Connecticut. I cannot buy a Tesla in Connecticut.
They posted a video 3 hours ago of an owner that's furious because a dealership dropped his C8 Corvette off of the shoplift.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd be furious too.
Yeah, me too.
Right, you can't happen before.
Drop a $75,000 car.
Guy I used to work with bought one of the Ford Ranger, not Ranger, but one of the Ford, I don't know, built up pickup trucks. It's not the stock F-250 or whatever. It's got like the bigger motor and the bigger
Raptor?
everything, whatever it was. I don't think it was a Raptor, but it was
I was going to say the Raptors are
it
special
was back in the 80s.
truck.
I don't remember
the
actually,
Lightning?
but it was like a upgraded version of
Late
the
80s, early 90s, there was an F-150 with a big motor in it and it was fast.
Yeah.
It was called the Ford
Yeah,
Lightning.
it was one of the last
Those are
big
cool.
trucks. And anyways, he brought it, literally bought it, and then brought it to Meineke or Midas or one of those because he was going to put big mudder tires on it. And the dude there put it on the lift and proceeded to lift it right up to the ceiling and stuff the freaking cab into the roof of the building.
Oh.
Thing did not have 100 miles on it. And Mikey kept going, "Oh, we'll fix it. We'll fix it." He's like, "Fuck you, you are. I want a brand new truck. That was brand spanking new.
Right.
You are not repairing that. You are
No.
buying me a new one."
Yeah. You guys just bought yourself a truck.
Yeah. I mean, normally, if, you got 100,000 miles on it and that happened, sure, whatever, fix it. It's just a car. But that was brand
Yeah. You
spanking.
guys just bought yourself a truck at full sticker price.
Yeah. Because actually, that's what it was. I forgot about that. It had the roof racks on it, the light bar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They hit the light bar and it just like crushed everything, crushed the cab, crushed the door windows. It was just,
Yeah,
and
back
it wasn't even that bad. I mean, it probably was repairable pretty easily.
Back in the early 90s, GM and Ford shot it out with a couple muscle trucks. Ford had the Lightning and Chevy had the 454 SS.
Yeah, maybe it was the Lightning. I know it was a Ford.
Yeah.
But he had it all customized, dealer customized with the light
Which
bars and
was
the
the
big
funny
light
part about
grill. And,
the Ford Lightning was the faster of the two trucks.
yeah.
The 454 SS had a basically stock 454 in it. So it was a small half-ton truck with a big motor in it.
Yeah.
So it didn't have a lot of horsepower. It had torque for days. But there was a company out there that was doing the performance mods to a 454. So if you went and bought a 454 SS, you could drop it off with them and write them a check for like 24 grand, and you got it back as like this 800 horsepower fire-breathing monster.
There you go. You want a vet? If you go out and buy a vet, spend another 100,000, go down the street a mile away from me, 2 miles that way. It's Callaway Turbo.
Yeah.
They live. It's right here.
Callaway, Hennessy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those aftermarket performance companies.
What's kind of weird is you realize Callaway started by updating Scirocco's. They were a Volkswagen modder originally.
Well, like Hennessy does cars for just about everybody now, but they kind of got their claim to fame with the Hennessy Venom, which was a Dodge Viper that they brought to like 1,000 horsepower, something insane.
Something stupid where if you actually give it any gas, it just goes sideways anyways.
Yeah, where you could go sideways in third gear.
Yeah. Trying to leave the driveway, you're freaking smacked up against the telephone pole. I was all into that. I used to drag race. I used to build Camaros and freaking Mustangs.
Which is why the new Corvette is going to be something special, because it's mid-engine. You're going to have much less of that rear end squirreliness, and because you have the same amount of weight sitting on your front wheels that you do sitting on your back wheels. It's not like most of your front engine rear drive cars where there's so much more weight sitting on the front tires than there is sitting on the back, so that when you overpower the back tires, the front end stays planted and you swing around.
Yeah. Anyway, we are getting off of here because it's almost lunchtime and I got a few things I got to do.
Yeah, I need some food.
Me too.
Well, it was good hanging out with you guys today.
Yeah. Same.
Somebody else start up a stream and I'll come back after.
I might do one. I might do one a little later today. I don't know. I've got some stuff to take care of.
Do a Blender tutorial stream.
Well, what I need to do is I need to get working on the. I'm going to rework the action figure from scratch.
You know what I want to do with you, just for fun? I want to find something like, not your Rep Ranger or your Jet, but find like a car or something that we both want to design, and you start in Blender and I'll start in Fusion and see how they both come out.
Sure.
That would be fun, because there's no question it's going to take you longer in Blender probably, because it's harder. But you can be more precise, I think, with some areas in Blender than you can in Fusion.
Well, like I don't want to make a licensed vehicle that's somebody else's IP, though. We could say a design that's based loosely around.
Well, we're not going to finish it in one stream anyways, so.
Given the stuff that I already have to work with, or do I have to work completely from scratch?
From scratch, bitch.
Okay, because I was going to say right now I would just bring in the axles, wheels, and tires I have now and change the dimensions on them and move forward.
From scratch.
Because that's what I do when I make a new vehicle now. I bring in the axles, wheels, tires, and frame from the.
I think we should do a tank.
Rep Ranger and go.
I think we should do a tank. Each of us should do a tank.
Okay.
Which tank?
I don't know. Some mythical tank. It doesn't have to be modeled after it. Just a freaking tank.
Give what we need is dimensions.
Yeah, we don't
this
even
many
need that.
Millimeters long, this many millimeters wide.
Just make a damn tank.
No less.
Put some treads on it, some tires, a turret, some body. Something we could do in a couple hours on a stream. It's not going to be highly detailed. We can go beyond that, but that might be fun just for some giggles of it.
Design shootout.
It's not even really a shootout. It's just because that's the whole point. Is he's going to have a different idea than I am because of the software we're using. You know what I mean? Like, I've already got in my head how I'd start it, and I guarantee it's different than what he would do.
Yeah.
Because of the software you use. That might be fun someday, just for the kicks and giggles. Again, we're never going to get it finished in one stream. I know I can't, because for one, either one of them, no matter what program I'm using while I'm streaming, it's freaking a dog. It might be fun, though. Now Tanner's getting freaking rep tank all built in his head already. You can see his little eyes rolling around going, ooh, treads and turrets. And actually, you already have a tread design. Weren't you doing a tank? Didn't you do a tank already? I just remember that because we were talking about your treads.
It's already finished. You haven't started.
Yeah, you already did. I just thought of that. I remember me and him were talking. It was when he first started. He was doing the treads and everything. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
We were having a discussion way, way, way back how you're going to link all the treads together and designing them, and you made it off suspension. Yeah,
cool.
But do the treads actually have suspension to them?
No.
What?
They do have a tensioner. There's a tensioner here.
Yeah, to tighten it, but it's not. You're not hitting bumps with it and driving.
No, there's no
spring load. Yeah.
Yeah.
No suspension.
No, because I wanted it to be
What other
100%
vehicle can we do?
printed, and that's a little bit harder.
It's going to be a different vehicle then.
Although I've since figured out how to do it and could.
Yeah.
An attack motorcycle. That's what we can do. An
Tank
attack
motorcycle.
A motorcycle with machine guns and crap mounted on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
1/18 scale.
You already did a helicopter. You already did a rocket ship. You already did a jet.
And a jet ski, and
You did a jet. Oh, I forgot you did the jet ski for the Rep Ranger.
it floats.
And it floats.
Nice.
Which I'm still really
I know.
proud.
There's no
I'm still
question
really
about
proud of that because when I put up that poll on Twitter, the people that answered the poll all said it would roll over, that it wouldn't float.
Yeah.
And so I waited till the poll concluded before I did the first float test because I didn't know for sure, but I had faith that the way I designed it, it would be buoyant. And so I filled the sink up with water. I put 3 figures on it. So, I mean, it was at max capacity. There were 3 figures sitting on it.
Boring.
Set it down in the water, and it just stayed perfectly upright.
I think Tanner would agree with me, right? We don't want to do some F1 racing motorcycle. We want guns and crap.
Right.
Yeah, we want guns and crap. We don't want just some super bike that you ride around real fast. We want to blow up shit. We want rockets and guns and missiles. And
We could go really interesting and make it a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, whatever.
Theme.
Yeah.
Just, a gun bike.
That's your post-apocalypse Mad Max theme kind of
Mad
thing.
Max theme. There you go. Mad Max theme motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking lasers. Yeah, lasers.
Now, are we limiting it? Does it have to have 2 wheels, or can it have 3? Can it be a trike?
We'll have to have that discussion. We should do that someday.
That's what we're doing, is starting the discussion.
Yeah.
We want to limit it to 2 wheels? We can limit it to 2 wheels. It's fine.
For one, I got to go take a crap. And
But I want a connection point on it where at least a sidecar is capable of being.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. At least sidecar or a trike.
Yeah.
Or make it 2 in the front, 1 in the rear, kind even.
That's interesting. I've got that kind of trike going on already, though.
Oh, you scumbag!
He's ready for this.
Is there anything you haven't done? Let me rephrase.
It's huge. It's not like motorcycle sized, but that's
Holy crap! Oh, I've seen that. I forgot about that thing.
Yeah, 2 in the front, 1 in the back.
Cool.
That thing's kind of cool, dude. Damn it! What haven't you done? What vehicle?
With a ball joint and 3D printed springs.
What vehicle have you not designed? You even have a boat.
No, I mean just the jet ski.
Oh, I
How
thought
about
you did a boat.
That's the only watercraft I have is the jet ski.
Oh.
And then the only aircraft I have is the giant
Yeah, Robin.
plane back there.
Yeah.
Most of my stuff are just ground vehicles. Another a vehicle I was wanting to do the other day that I've been kicking around ideas in my head for is a like dune buggy type thing,
Yeah.
Ooh. That might be fun.
like a military dune buggy type thing.
Yeah. One of these, but military.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
That might be fun. But that's kind of just your Rep Ranger with a different body.
Kind of more
It's just a
car-like.
tubular body and everything
How about
else.
the quad bike?
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to think about it.
ATV,
Something you haven't done yet.
a UTV,
Huh?
an ATV or a UTV.
Yeah.
Haven't done any of those yet. Haven't done like any kind of like boat.
Yeah, that might be fun. Although boats are
Like a speedboat with weapons on it.
Yeah, it would have to be a speedboat with weapons on it. It's got to have weapons on it.
Right.
No, it's freaking boring if it doesn't have guns and freaking ammunition.
A unicycle with
Something
weapons
something
on
that
it.
can be used with.
Unicycle
Think
with
of modern day pirates.
Every time you fire it, you got to rebalance.
Yeah. Military unicycle.
Guns.
Yeah,
No,
modern
I might
day
have to design that just as a joke now.
Yeah.
modern day pirates.
With rockets, not just guns, rockets, Tom.
Yeah, little rockets.
A rocket launching unicycle.
Robbie Mack points out a submarine. Red Light said a crane.
Unicycle with the railgun.
I already designed a submarine, so. Did you ever see my submarine?
Wheelie bar on the unicycle. Yeah.
I did my submarine in. Remember we were talking about Hexagon? I did my submarine in Hexagon.
Yeah.
Now I got to find it. I was getting off, and you guys got me all sidetracked, or I got us all
Like
sidetracked.
we always do.
Yeah, you started. But you got the wheels turning.
No, and it's not even the competition end of it. I just like the idea of using two different
programs and two different designers
come out with a similar idea, and see what comes of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a build off kind of thing where we could get it started on stream, but then set like just a deadline for when the whole thing needs to be done.
Yeah.
Do we want to include in the deadline printed and assembled?
No.
It
was more of a design thing.
Need to be printed though.
That would be interesting because if you include the printed and assembled thing, that also means everything has to be manifold and functional and mechanically functional, which would go into the designers and their programs.
Yeah.
And their ability to create mechanically functioning parts. So I would say including printing and assembly, we start this and then we conclude it 1 week later.
Yeah, no, I don't have the attention span for that.
No? You don't think you could design, print, and assemble in 1 week?
No.
I know I can.
I know I can't. I couldn't guarantee it. I have too many, issues.
My biggest print and assembly thing is the only printer I trust for printing mechanically assembled parts is that one right there.
Yeah.
Those others, no. They go away.
Too many side responsibilities that are too unreliable in their timing, to put it mildly.
Mm-hmm.
This thing keeps rolling back to the same old thing and then adds new ones. Damn it, where's my damn... Jesus, I got too many damn designs on things.
I've already got a helicopter, Robbie.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Although a sky crane helicopter would be cool.
Ooh. Jolly Green Giant?
Sky crane with functional winch and container box where it has to pull the container box back up.
Here it is. Where'd it go? It was just here and then it disappeared.
You lost it.
Because then you could do a flat platform that the sky crane could pull up as well, that you could put things like put a tank or a vehicle on and the sky crane picks it up.
Here's my submarine. I did this years and years and years ago.
What program did you use at Hexagon?
Yeah, I used Hexagon to do this years ago when Hexagon first came out. It was actually
cool
beta when I did that. Well, let me throw it around. I don't even think I can find the actual original model. I have an object file for it somewhere, but it's got a little jet propulsion and some freaking guns in the front and a radio antenna and the little pilot thing and a headlight.
Nice.
I literally did that in like 2000, maybe even earlier.
Yeah.
It was all done in Hexagon, and then Hexagon kind of went funky, and I finished it in Carrera. And that was a good thing. When Hexagon came out, Hexagon was supposed to be an add-on to Carrera originally, which at the time Carrera was still Ray Dream Designer, I think. Might not have been. Might have been Carrera already. Do a search on Ray Dream Designer, because that's the starter of Hexagon, Carrera, Daz Studio. All of those came from Ray Dream Designers, which was Ray Dream.
Right.
Meta Creations. Ray Dream, then Meta Creations, and EVO or something like that. And then Daz bought all of them and screwed them all up.
Yeah, these programs
Actually, Infinity D bought it for a very short time and stole some technology from it and then sold it to Daz.
There's even some rumblings of potential Autodesk attempting to acquire Blender.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Because that's what Autodesk does with its competition.
Yeah, I don't
it
see
buys
that
its competition so it can control it.
There's nobody owns Blender. That's the problem.
Well, the Blender Foundation owns Blender, but they're a nonprofit organization.
It supports it and backs it. It doesn't. There's no owner of Blender. Blender is true open source.
Right, well, but they own the right. They own the rights. It's open source and community developed by people in the Blender Foundation. But the Blender Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and they actually own the rights and like the logo and the name and all that.
3D printing and painting just in time for us to bolt.
Hey, Jerry.
We don't get any freaking submarines in Indiana. No, I can't imagine you do. And what's the point of doing graphics on a submarine? Because it's underwater and the only one that's going to see it are the fishies. That's why they're all painted black and gray. And nobody cares. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go.
All right.
Almost.
I'll give the design thing some thought, and we'll kick some stuff.
We'll have to figure out a vehicle. Neither one of us has done anything extreme with. I mean, the submarine kind of, even though I did that was 100 years ago. That might be fun. A submarine or a boat or a trike.
Right, but then I'd want to go and make it like actually be able to submerge and not fill up with water.
What do you do after? This is just for fun for a day. No, that would be just, again, to see, what your ideas are and how you build it in your program and what my ideas are and how I build it. Because honestly, the other thing I was thinking of doing if we're going to do this is we both agree on like a real simple sketch drawing so the base outline is the same for both of ours. You know what I mean?
We need a theme, whether it's sci-fi, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Think about it more.
So not just a vehicle, but a vehicle with a theme.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely got to be. The theme is going to be guns, missiles, rockets, ammo.
Right. Well, a vehicle with a theme, and maybe I don't know if we need a sketch or not, if we just give it approximate dimensions.
Well, that's what we'll have to figure out. We'll have to discuss it and give it a week or two. And
but definitely, I think a theme is important. So type of vehicle and theme.
Yeah, the theme's pretty much war. Okay,
but you can war. You can go sci-fi. You can go post-apocalyptic. You can go
whatever.
So the zombie post-apocalypse kind of thing. You can go military. You can go futuristic. You can.
You're still, I'm talking about a stream, so you're not talking about you're going to get all that detail in it. You're just going to get your base shapes and figures, and then we can do whatever the hell we do that.
Right, but that's going to affect the base shape.
We use the base, treads.
Because sci-fi is going to make stuff that's not even necessarily the shape of anything conventional that exists today.
Yeah.
While post-apocalyptic or military would be something similar to something that exists today, not exact, but similar to something that exists today, just
space
constraints
fighter.
Of realistic design.
A space fighter. We might have to do this multiple times. We might have to do this multiple times. Yeah, but that's like a jet more than a space fighter. I mean, it is a space fighter, but it's kind of a jet. You know what I mean? It's model. It's a jet. That'll function in atmosphere as well as in space.
Right. Like the X-Wing.
Yeah. I'm thinking more like, something like the Expanse show or Star Trek, an actual space fighter. It has no wings necessarily. You can put wings on it if you want, but it doesn't necessarily have wings.
A cube like the Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cube. Or what the hell was that one that Tom Cruise did where he was recloned on the planet?
I haven't seen that one.
Oblivion,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen that? You should watch it. It's good. I'm going to destroy it for you because what does this spaceship actually looks like? It looks like a little semen, little ball and a little tail, it's a little drop of semen, a little semen bubble.
See you next time.
Anyway, I gotta get to my coffee here.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll message back and forth about it. We'll figure out a day and do that. Maybe later this week or next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depending on your schedule. I don't know what your schedule. You don't know what your
schedule. I don't know what my schedule is until I get a text message telling me what my schedule is. Yep. Right now, it's not like it used to be where I knew I was playing every Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It was Oblivion. Yeah. Anyway, all right, I'm off. Later, folks. Thanks for stopping in and watching.
Bye-bye.
Stupid crap. See you.
Bye-bye.